Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory.
Well, no.
This is
You can't say that. You're not allowed to say that. Go back.
Fine. This is Stick Drift. I thought I'd catch you off guard with that, but I guess not. You're listening to Stick Drift, a bi-weekly show with two friends where we talk about the world of video games and the culture surrounding.
Friends is a
I'm
stretch.
Power Glover, and with me is who?
Well, I'm
totally
Noah
ruined
Rada.
this.
I mean, you know.
Yeah. If you've been listening, he has always been Noah Rada.
I have.
And if you like what... Yeah, yes. People say he's always been Noah Rada. If you like it or you hate it, please would you... Mike, you can find us on YouTube at StickDriftPodYT, on Twitter /X, StickDriftYT, and lastly on our Facebook page, Stick Drift. We're also on Spotify. Each of our content has its own channel, so for a specific podcast, please subscribe to each to make sure you get the newest audio content in your feed. Noah, did you like my intro?
Yeah, it was. You know, you tried to mix it up, but you're oh gosh, stop going all millennial speak on me.
For real.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. The friend group has rubbed off on me.
Oh no, my chair.
Oh,
Awesome
no,
start.
Chair?
No. It just leaned back a little more than I thought it was.
In shambles right now, just completely disintegrated from the start. This is the 20th one of these. No wonder it's off the rails. We're losing our minds together.
We're drifting.
That's good. We're not drifting. We're careening off the mountainside. It's like take the left path, take the right path with the guy. He just walks down the middle, falls in a hole. That's us. That's us right now.
Yep.
But yeah, we're back. And since we've been back, we were playing Donkey Kong Bonanza a few weeks ago. We started that. And now we have both finished it, and by finish, I mean you really, really finished. You finished the entire thing.
I did.
So we will get in. Yeah, we will get into that.
Actually, two people have finished my copy of Donkey Kong Bonanza now, 100%. So,
are you including yourself in this, or
no? Two different people. Yeah, my other friend, he borrowed my copy, and now he has also 100%ed that game. So there are now two people
that might be
100% of the same cartridge.
That might be the most played cartridge of Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I think so. It's going to another friend after as well. So it's the communal copy of Donkey Kong Bonanza. Screw Nintendo. We're sharing this thing.
You have to pay $70. You're like, nah, not if I my friend. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart. That's very, very funny. Well, I mean, that's just the economy right there. That's the friend economy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. They do the same for me if there was something that they had. And
100%. Yeah, that's the way to go. That's the way to go. So yeah, we did that. Final Destination for that incoming. Yeah, we both really liked it. I think I like it slightly more than you do. Not to say you hate it, but you have some issues with that game for sure.
Yeah.
But no game is perfect. That game is great.
Yeah,
it's not
a
just
fine
good, it's great.
game. It's a good experience. I don't feel worse for playing that game. I don't feel like it was a waste entirely. So.
Wow, just glowing praise over here. Just absolute rapturous praise from my co-host here about a phenomenal game from the Mario team.
Yeah,
I am no worse for wear.
It wasn't crappy enough of a game for me to really have strong opinions of it, so it doesn't really stick out.
You have just read yourself so distinctly with that comment. You have completely read yourself. You're like, I'd rather play some obtuse bullshit that actually enriches my life.
Yes, absolutely.
Which we'll get into. You've been playing some stuff. So forget all this fancy smashing stuff.
It was fine. It just kind of turned my brain off for most of it. A lot of it felt like noise,
Yeah. So. And we'll get into it a little bit, but it felt a little bit like empty calories by the end. I think we both agree.
Yeah.
Even though it was fun. It was fun eating the dessert. And
the dessert was fun, and there were good experiences in that game that are to be had and experienced. So
when you get a banana, it says "Oh banana."
Oh, banana.
Oh banana,
You
and
need
it never
that
gets old
in your life. No, it does. It really doesn't. So
yeah, yeah. It's hard for something that happens, let's say, over 400 to 500 times, way over that, in fact, that it doesn't get old. So that's an achievement unto itself. So,
yep.
great game, Final Destination incoming. Yeah, we yacked about that. There's been a couple Nintendo things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a
Not
direct kind of.
not very Nintendo-y things. Very
No.
Nintendo adjacent-y things, but nothing from the big N themselves. So
The big N. Oh boy, that's a scary. This is the scary ground we tread upon now. The big N. Yeah, the N words themselves.
Oh
they
my
had
gosh.
themselves kind of a direct.
Oh my gosh.
They had themselves. I'm talking about Nintendo. Chill out. Chill. They had their dev kit direct where they said, "Hey, you guys can make games for this thing. We'll let you. Here's some stuff." And that's what that was. So they went, Square Enix, can you make some games for us? Here's some dev kits. And they're like, we got 2 of them. What up? So they showed some more HD 2D games, and they look good. More Octopath. If you like Octopath, they got that. So
I mean, what is Octopath at this point? We'll have to unpack that at some point, right?
It's Final Fantasy. I mean, kind of. It's Final Fantasy by way of Bravely Default. That's kind of what it is. So
they're trying to turn it into something it's not, I think. And so not too.
Well, we'll get into that.
Yeah. Not too jazzed.
We'll get into that in the new game portion because they announced 2 HD 2D games. One was Octopath Traveler 0, and then they had The Adventures of Elliot, like a HD 2D standalone game that's basically like a mana game.
Yeah.
Like a Sword of Mana or a Legend of Mana. And
Terranigma.
I played that. We'll talk about that. Yeah, or Terranigma. Yeah. Talk about the big end. Yeah, no kidding. But sorry, hey, we talked about that. There's an indie world. We'll have some thoughts about that. Hopefully, they put out some games that like just drop. That'd be kind of sick. I kind of want a game that they're like it's out. That'd be kind of fun. So, we'll see. We'll see about that. So that should be like they always stream like so early, like 6 or 7 in the morning. And I'm like, why? I hate you guys. You're the worst. They're like, do you want to hear about Blasphemous on Switch? I'm like, not at 7 in the morning. I don't. Yeah.
Do you speaking of Terranigma, do you remember Mike Minotti's slip up on? Oh my gosh, that was horrible.
For the audio listeners, I am nodding my head.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember this that is what I was referring to.
We're not condoning that kind of language at all, by the way. It's just a slip up that happened.
This is jokes, but that was very hilarious.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
It was a slip up that happened, and that was funny. Those kinds of things are funny, so.
In fact, let's not say that word again so we don't find ourselves in the same
Probably,
position, that game, I hear is good. I need to play more of the T game. But yeah, some Nintendo stuff, Donkey Kong, Nintendo. Evo happened. Did you catch any Evo or no?
No, I didn't really check it out at all. Didn't really tune in.
Evo.
There wasn't really anything that I was too interested in watching, so.
I watched some finals. I watched the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 final. That was good. That was the classic game they brought back this year. Watched a few top 8s. I think I watched Tekken 8's top 8. I watched Guilty Gear's finals, which was great. I love it whenever, and this happens a lot in the competitive scene, whenever people are very good. Like, people, when they lose, they go to loser's bracket. That's kind of the deal with Evo. And there's like a whole bracket with winners and losers round, and whoever wins the losers bracket fights the winners, basically, like the top of the winners for the finals. And then whoever wins that wins Evo for that particular game. And that happened a couple of times, I think. And that was very, very exciting. So, alongside the Guilty Gear stuff, they announced Lucy from, they showed off Lucy from, what was it, Cyberpunk Edge Runners?
Yep.
Right? She looks great. She looks awesome. Super cool. She's hacking fools mid-fight. It's nuts. Like, did you see the trailer for that or not?
No, I haven't checked that out yet. That's, first crossover character for that series. We're in the era of crossovers and like mainline stuff because Street Fighter did it, Guilty Gear's doing it, so
Yeah.
But it's such a weird like out of left field crossover. Like that's a weird one for Arxis to do. So
it's weird, but it also like it kind of fits that art style really well. Like they didn't have to do any modification to fit it in the Guilty Gear milieu. Like the art, like it kind of fits. Like she kind of fits already, because Trigger's style is very I don't know. It's crazy while being very precise. Like that sort of art design. So, I'm excited. I love Dead Runners. It was great.
Yeah.
Excited to see season.
Well, they're doing they're doing the season 2, so that'll be interesting. Yeah.
That'll be good. It'll be new characters and Night City, that sort of thing. So
speaking of Arxis, did you ever check out trying to get into that closed beta for the Marvel Tokon fighters?
I'm pretty sure I'm in it.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It's not for another month.
Yeah.
I signed up for the beta program a few months ago. That's how I got into the marathon beta was through that closed program, whatever. Anybody can sign up for it, but I'm pretty sure I'm in it. I haven't gotten an invite yet because it's not for another month. I expect it'll be in a couple weeks, but
that's like more of like a Sony-ish thing from what I understand that Tokon Fighters, but I'm sure they'll come to PC at some point.
Probably. It's only a PS5 closed beta, which is kind of nuts. People are going to be playing some PS5 to get that. So, I will report back, hopefully, if I get in there, because I'm really excited to see. There's some interesting stuff in that thing. Like, it looks like a tag fighter, but it's kind of not. Like, there's a lot of interesting stuff about it. It's more like you use, like, the characters as assists, almost. Like, you don't do a lot of switching. Like, you can. And there's, like, you basically select up to 4 characters. Like, you select up to 4.
Yep.
And there's like to access that 4th character, it's like situational. Like you can't always just tag them in, which is kind of interesting.
Right. Yep. You have to do like a move in order to tag your other characters in, and then you have to like specifically the move has to like not get interrupted in order for you to tag them in. So.
Right, and there's some interesting like movement tech, like for instance, like. Iron Man has kind of like a Sentinel from Marvel vs. Capcom Flight Mode, for instance, and he has different attacks based on that flight mode, and there's some really cool stuff on that. I was watching Max Miller talk about that, and he's very knowledgeable about it, and he was at EVO, so he got to play that, and I was hearing some of his coverage on it, and it sounds like they're going to announce a lot more characters, because this game it's probably not out until next summer, I would imagine. They've only announced 10, and if you're going to have 4 characters to select, I imagine to be around something at some point, so it's going to be a bigger roster. So I'm excited to see what who they pick for that thing. Like I feel like it's not going to be as X-Men heavy as like a Marvel vs. Capcom. So who do they put in there?
Yep.
So I guess we'll see.
You wouldn't. You wouldn't want a whole lot of X-Men. I wouldn't like. You'd want like a Wolverine. They have Storm in there already. You would want like a Wolverine and maybe Magneto, maybe like a Magneto. That'd probably be it. You'd want like that core, kind of like Marvel Rivals, I think. Marvel Rivals technically also has Scarlet Witch. She's technically X-Men adjacent, so.
Well, a lot of the stuff back then for the games had to do with a lot of the rights for the characters, and it was kind of hard to get all those. But apparently, Disney has carte blanche to kind of do whatever, so I'm sure they'll lend them whoever they want. Yeah. I do think it'll be less X-Men full because that's the Capcom thing. Yeah. Most of those games had a bunch of X-Men in them, like Gambit or whatever, But like, Gambit's all right. They should have like a Nightcrawler. That'd be sick. Nightcrawler's awesome.
Nightcrawler is cool.
But I think it'll be more like, hey, Groot. We'll put Groot in here or something, something like that.
And he says, "Watashi wa Groot."
That's what he says. Yes, Vin Diesel voices him.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I don't think that game's going to be in English. I bet you.
Yeah.
Because Arxis games usually aren't.
Well, no. The Guilty Gear Strive is completely translated.
Well, they didn't they start? They started dubbing those fairly in the last 10 or so years.
Yeah.
Like, all the old ones don't have any.
Right. Yeah. And this one's also
they
like
might have
distinctly Japanese, so
oh yeah. But yeah, it's very like I forget what the term is, like tenketsu or something like that, or whatever you call that thing, like the Power Ranger-esque style. Or no, I'm thinking like tokusatsu or something.
Tokusatsu
whatever.
is what
it's
you're
that
thinking
kind
of.
of. Yeah, that's what it was. Good on me for pulling that out. I almost forgot. But yeah, that's kind of the feel of that thing. It looks great. It seems like it plays great. The beta is going to be addressing some issues, right? So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Marvel Tokon, that looks awesome. But yeah, let's get into games we have played, not games we've just looked at. We talked a bit about DK Bananza. Let's just briefly give our overview because we reviewed this thing. So, a brief overview of how we felt about it. I liked it a lot. I loved it, in fact. It's not my top game of the year yet. I feel like if I finish it all, I can finally have my full thoughts on it. So at some point, I will get it done.
But it sounds like it's more of a chore. Is what you're kind of feeling about that game? Is like
a little, Okay, so this is kind of my thoughts on it. Like, I just don't right now. And it might be because like whenever I finish something, I'm like, okay, what's the next thing? Maybe that's I'm so like game pilled right now, where I'm just finishing a lot of stuff. I'm kind of like, I finished this. I'm okay to move on. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, but you haven't really finished that game though, so like, you complete the story.
I feel like I need to do my due diligence. Yeah, I need to do my due diligence and
I
finish everything.
I mean, I enjoyed my time finishing that game for the most part, but it just got to a certain point to where like I was just kind of going through the motions, and I was like, I'm just completely head empty, not even paying attention to this game at this point. Like I'm just doing things. Like this game has been over for me for, a couple of good amount of hours now. Basically, I got to a certain point where I was like feeling that.
It could be just like you played it in a truncated period too, and it could have been like I'm just burnt out. Like that could have been a thing too. But yeah, I didn't want to feel that way, so I'm like, okay, if I'm feeling this way, I'll come back. I don't feel the pull yet, but I will be back very, very soon. Yeah, it's a great game. Really like that game. But yeah, we have a whole review going up about it at some point. You'll hear our full thoughts on the thing. Play it. It's the reason you should buy a Switch 2, in my opinion. But yeah, that's kind of our brief overview on that. Very, very, very fun game. It's a very good game. But yeah, I wanted to hear about your kind of exposure to Ratatan. Did you play a demo? Is this a demo?
Yes. So
okay, what are your thoughts on
the demo of Ratatan, and it's been out for a bit now. And so basically, the demo is the first two worlds of Ratatan. You kind of go through them sequentially. So like if you lose in like World 2, you have to go all the way back to World 1. It's got sort of a roguelike mechanics to where you have randomized like perks and loot and drops for every run. So your build's going to look a little bit different for your army. But it's basically the same gameplay of Patapon, just modernized a little bit to be a bit more fluid, a bit more dynamic, have a bit more engagement, and be less stiff. Just kind of what games like to do. And so
right.
But yeah, I mean that game is exactly what I'd want to see from a Patapon spiritual successor. It's checking off all the boxes. It's doing everything right. The music's great. The sound design is great. It's everything you want from a rhythm game like that is there. So the game. They also brought the multiplayer pieces back from Patapon 2 and 3. Feels a lot like a Patapon 2 multiplayer specifically. So each of your friends has their own army, and I played through this thing with 3 other people, and it's a lot of fun. I will say it feels more scaled for one player, to the point where, like, when you have 3 or 4 people, you kind of just run over everything. There's not really much obstacles. I couldn't tell if it was because of the extra players or because I was just carrying my friends, because I had kind of figured out the game by that point. But
Right.
regardless, I think that there's some balance issues to be had for that game that they're actually actively addressing, and so they had to push back the early access because they are addressing some balance issues in that game. So
Gotcha. So the idea of Ratatan is it's run based. So how did this demo
Mhm.
present itself? That it was run, like you
Yeah.
did a run with like people.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you do runs, and then you'd go back to a sort of a hub area to get upgrades, like a roguelike, and then you'd do runs, and then you'd get more points to get more upgrades, that sort of thing. Get more loot, upgrade your loot.
Yeah.
You'd have like
Yeah.
different perks you'd upgrade, and then you'd have like different random weapon drops, and you could upgrade those, and then you could craft some like epic and legendary weapons, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's is it that's a this year game, right?
Yeah,
That comes out this year.
Oh yeah. It like I said before, it was supposed to be out already, but they had to push back the early access.
Oh, okay. I see.
And that's like
okay.
that early access is going to be like the first release of that game, essentially, right? They're going to have that game as an early access game on Steam, and then eventually, once everything is fixed and correct on that game, then they'll be releasing that thing to console. So
Okay. Yeah. Console. That'll be interesting. I'm not not too into Patapon. Like I've tried playing it. I just rhythm games, man. Like unless it's Guitar Hero, I am just bad in rhythm games. I do not have
that.
like I feel like I can sing. I feel like I can sing okay, but like rhythm stuff never been my.
That first Patapon game's a little brutal. I would check out the remaster they just put out on modern consoles. Like, they just put out that remaster. They have a lot of ease of access, accessibility sort of options in that new remaster.
Like quality of life stuff. Yeah,
I understand.
That's
Not just quality of life, but also just like accessibility, like making the game a bit more easy if you're not rhythmly inclined. So.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why I don't play an instrument. Is that I'm just not like I feel like I am a little bit, but I feel like if I was going to do anything, it'd be like drums or something. I would be able to play a guitar. I've tried that. You know what I mean? Like I just don't have that for some reason. Which I guess that would be kind of 1-to-1 for Patapon, but I just for some reason never.
Yeah.
So, that's interesting that you say the Patapon stuff, the new stuff, because they put out that game. It was a Japan studio title through Sony, obviously, and they're just putting it everywhere. Like I don't know if it's on Xbox, but it's on Switch.
It's on Switch and it's on PC. Yep.
Yeah, and it's not being published by Sony. Like Bandai Namco is publishing that, which is kind of interesting. So Sony's kind of doing the multi-plat stuff too, just in like weird ways.
I think Sony's just kind of done with Patapon. They're not really interested in that because the team that did Patapon is gone from Sony, and so Sony's like, we're never gonna do anything with this thing. Here, Bandai Namco, you can have this thing to publish.
That's the Astrobot graveyard is Japan Studio Games. They're like, yay, all these Japan Studio games, you guys are dead, yay, we love being dead.
Yeah, here's Ape Escape, guys. You remember Ape Escape? Look at him. Oh, it's dead though. We're never doing another one of those.
Yeah, look at it. That's kind of how it feels like.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's so weird. Well, I mean, they, not to get too in the weeds, but Sony basically dropped the curtain on that stuff. They went like, we're just gonna start putting stuff places now. Like that just makes sense. Like, I don't think they're big games yet. Like they're not at that point.
Like their Ghost of Yotei is gonna stay on PS5 for a good while.
Yeah, but it'll be on PC, and I bet you it'll be on PC earlier. Like I think it probably will.
It depends on how well
they
Ghost of
literally
Tsushima sold, I guess, on PC compared to
PlayStation.
It
just combined it sold super well.
Yeah.
So, that was a huge hit for them.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't on. I don't know. I think you know what? It actually might have sold more than the reboot. But yeah, with each sequel, you have diminishing returns for sales because usually they rely on the prequel, to tell their stories. But the difference with Yote now is that it is a spiritual. There's nothing to do with Jin, Sakai, or anything. So
yeah, his story.
It's kind of a perfect entry point.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I wonder how it'll. I said this, I think, last podcast. I wonder how I'll find that when that comes out because I'll have played Assassin's Creed Shadows. So
you completed that Ghost of Tsushima game though, right?
Oh yeah, I platinumed it. Yeah,
okay.
I really like that game.
Yeah,
very very good game. There's a lot of good Sly Cooper cameos and like references in there, which is fun. You can get like a Sly Cooper outfit kind of. Which I really love, and because Sucker Punch made Sly Cooper, so man, they should make another Sly Cooper. Just make Sly 5. I'll be happy, man. But yeah, I'm excited to see where that thing goes. But yeah, Sony in general, they're looking to put stuff places. I mean, they did that. They put that Horizon game on, like that Horizon Lego game, which is interesting. So they do it with some stuff. It seems like.
Well, I think there's only
Ratatan,
one person in the
good.
world who wants to play that Horizon Lego game. So
I don't want to play like Horizon normally, like in a Lego game. It's, like just not interested.
They made that game for one person, so
yeah, and he's still hasn't bought it. So who is that game for?
Yeah, he was talking about it today. A friend of ours, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to Best Buy and get that thing. It's on sale at Best Buy." I'm like, "Okay, you go for it. Go get that game."
I would not dignify that game with a in-store purchase. That would be a digital only experience. But I don't do that for any game, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't go to a place to pick it up off a shelf. I barely would buy it on digital. It would have to be like $5. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, you just reminded me that I need to play a freaking Xenoblade Chronicles X. I bought that game and never got around to that.
You play Xenoblade Chronicles Uno.
Well, there's no mecha combat in that game, so
Yes, there is. You're wrong.
You don't get a skill though, so you don't get a customized your own skill.
But you do fight mechs.
The mecha customization that's kind of my alley. So
I wanted to play that thing too that came out. I'm waiting for that patch. Like it's not patched yet. It doesn't have that 60 frames mode. I think they have not patched any of the Xenoblade stuff yet, which they should. Xenoblade they've done it for Xenoblade 3. Xenoblade 3 has a I think it's just a better like hardware patch, they just made that run better, but 2 needs it desperately. It runs at like 520p on handheld. It is abysmal. And X had like a dev mode. Yeah, I'm making my way through 2. We'll put it. I've talked about it a little bit, but yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles 1. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how X kind of shakes out because I want to play that too. I'm with you. I don't know if I'll get to it by the end of the year or not. We'll see how it goes. I guess we'll see how it goes. But besides Ratatan, you have also played all of this game, and you will stop playing it, right? You got all those. Elden Ring, Nightreign. Your life is free. You've done it. You've gotten 100%. It's over.
Stop. We both know that's not how those games work. You don't play those games for the achievements. That's just not how those FromSoft games work. Those FromSoft games are a lifestyle. Right, they're just something that you play when you've got nothing else to do, and when you're, having a rough time, you just put those on to kind of empty your brain. So,
I would rather put my hand in front of a knife than play Demon Souls, though. That's with that game.
Demon Souls is a little rough. So I saw this thing the other day actually, and it was interesting to me because. Basically, there was it's like just some like random comment on YouTube that was like, yeah, these FromSoft games, they, as the games progress, traversing the world gets easier and the bosses get more difficult. And this is something that I've seen before as well in like a lot of people that don't that don't like modern FromSoft, or like they're there's different levels of like people not liking modern FromSoft, right? There's the people that don't like Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne and Sekiro and and Elden Ring and Nightreign, whatever. There's that scene, right? Those people, they don't like it because, from what I've seen, one of the biggest complaints is that they've made it easier to traverse those worlds, and they've made it, more inconsequential for getting to the bosses. And, that crowd kind of thinks, the journey is more important than the destination, right? Getting through the area and to the boss is more important than just that boss battle itself. And so that kind of player, Elden Ring is really not for that player, I don't think. Because that game is basically just a boss rush. Like, that's basically what Nightreign is. And, I mean, that, I don't think it's necessarily right or wrong to be, in favor or against sort of that boss-focused mindset. I'm a little bit in between, I think, as a player. I like the journey, but I also really like the destination as well. So, all that to say, I think, like with the Demon Souls crowd, they really like that journey. They don't care about that destination at all. And so they really like, those levels, and they like mastering those levels, and, they feel confidence in their mastery of traversing that game more so than they feel confidence in their mastery over like a boss battle, right? Because that game doesn't really have boss battles. It has boss puzzles for the most part.
That's basically what I was getting to. It's so the boss battles in those games, that game specifically, they're all gimmicks. Like every one of them is a gimmick.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, there's gimmicks to every boss. I wouldn't call every boss a gimmick, but every boss has some sort of like weird thing that it does to, shake it up. Even though they don't really present you with like Sir Knightsword or big guy with stick like a Dark Souls does. Yeah. Dark Souls is like, here's big guy with stick. Yeah, Demon Souls has the Vanguard Demon, sure, at the very beginning, but it's like one of those fights that you're designed to lose. Like, I've never figured out how to beat that thing. Maybe I'm just a bad Demon Souls player, but I've never figured out how to beat that Vanguard Demon. I feel like you're just too weak, at least with like the Knight class, unless if I were to like take off all my armor and like try and like dodge roll through that thing, but I'm trying to kind of play that game as Miyazaki intended, whatever, so just going through as the John Demon Souls.
John Demon Souls, guy on the cover.
Yeah. So, but so that I don't think Demon Souls is a bad game. I just don't necessarily think it's a game that we enjoy as players.
I don't think I like that game really at all. That's kind of where I'm at.
But I that game has its fans, and
it does, yeah.
I think for them it just is marketed as, this is the game for experiencing that brutal journey and overcoming that brutal journey. Whereas a Dark Souls has those moments as well, but it's not like nearly as impactful of a journey, I think, as like a Demon Souls, to where like there's less roadblocks, I think, in a Dark Souls on like getting to those bosses, but then those bosses are more roadblocks than like a Demon Souls boss would be. So,
well, you could even see like the truncation of that journey in like the DLC for Elden Ring, where like once you get to a point like before the boss room, they just go like, if you die, you just back here. There's no back.
Yeah, that's all of Elden Ring, right? They have those Stakes of Marika all throughout Elden Ring, and they always put those right outside the boss, so that instead of going back to your site of grace, you just go to that Stake of Marika. That's a distinctly Elden Ring thing. Yeah,
but there is like, there might be some run back, like slight, like even like 20, 30 feet or whatever. In the DLC, it's like you're right here. Like you walk one step, you're there. Like that's.
I think you need to play through that game again because I don't remember a single time where that Stake of America just wasn't outside that fog gate, like just right there.
We will be playing that whenever Nintendo decides to bring that thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know whose fault for that, but they need to put that game out on Switch too.
That game has to be done by now, so.
Yeah, probably. So we'll see. But Nightreign, how'd you find completing that thing? Was it satisfying? Like, tell me your journey with that.
So the achievements, every single one of those just happened naturally. That was just natural gameplay. The only exception was exactly one achievement, and that was the one where you have to go and beat a Night Lord with every single one of the Nightfarers, right? Every character you need to beat at least one Night Lord with. And the only character that I didn't do that naturally with was the Guardian, just because that's so anti my playstyle for those games, right? I'm the guy that went through Dark Souls 1 our last time with a shield and like never used that shield except for parrying. So.
I don't think you used it once. Like you had it on your back and that was it. I was like, why do you have this out? And you're like, because he's the cover.
Because he's the guy on the cover, yeah. Well, I'd parried with it sometimes, right? I'm like, oh yeah, I know I can parry this enemy, so I'll parry this enemy.
It was so infrequent, I did not. So we'll put it that way.
Well, I mean, you recall once we defeated Gwyn in your world, I had to go back and do it solo in my world, and so I beat that with the classic parrying technique. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I definitely remember that. That was the last bit there. Yeah.
That was rough with that dinky sword that I had. I don't know how bad. I didn't realize how bad that sword was gonna be. I don't know if it was because of my stat spread or if that sword's just bad. But either way,
let's put it this way: like it's for as much Dark Souls as we played, it's not a hard game to get through. Like it's just not.
No.
Like it's not as hard as the other games. There's a couple like pain points a little bit, but like you can just grind, man. And once you do that, like you're just set. I even found out how to soul glitch. That's easy. Like so easy. Item dupe, you can do all that still. Excuse me. But yeah, I like way leveled, and I was carrying you in terms of damage.
Yeah. You just had a way better build than I did. So.
Well, I mean, that's just what the build I always run in that game is heavy armor. Good. So
yeah, you just swing.
We'll be doing that.
And,
we'll be doing that Dark Souls thing pretty soon because you don't want to lose that.
No,
we'll get to it.
We'll do that thing. And I'm kind of getting in the mood for Bloodborne. I do want to get to Bloodborne.
Yeah, you are. Hell yeah, you are. I'm excited.
I don't think I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm good. I'm not really a achievement hunter.
It's so fun.
No, that's not really my thing. The only reason why I did it in Nightreign is because it literally happened naturally. That's the type of game where it just happened as I was playing it, and then I had exactly one thing I had to do. I'm like, I'm just going to do this thing real quick. I'm going to beat this one guy with this one guy, and that's going to be it. So that's exactly what I did.
The thing about Bloodborne is it's so unnatural. Like you have to do the Chalice dungeons and that.
Yeah, I've spent my fair share of time in the Cum dungeon. I don't need to go back to it.
Yeah, no kidding. The Chalice dungeons they're so bad.
Yeah, you know the Cum, like the community made Chalice, right?
Yep, I do.
You just stand there at the beginning and he just dies, and you get like 2 million.
Yep.
What are those? Blood Echoes? Yeah, Blood Echoes. So
Blood Echoes. Yeah. There you go. Good pull. Yeah. Yeah. Once you're in the mood, dude, you're talking. I have Bloodborne on my arm. So
I want to take another stab at the arcane build. I remember having fun with it, but I never completed that run with the arcane build. No, I'm not going to use that threaded cane. That thing sucks. But yeah. I want to do the arcane build and use the Moonlight Greatsword and all that good stuff. Use I remember liking that tentacle attack that you map to your items.
The cost thing, yeah.
Yeah. What is it, like augur or something or other? But
the augur of Abretus.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that was a cool.
See,
use
that's the game
your
I know.
use
I know
your
that game.
bullets as like a mana basically. So
Yep,
that's cool.
I know that game like back to front. So that'll be
Sure.
the one I know, which is exciting.
Yeah, I always get lost in that game. So I always get lost without fail.
Oh yeah,
So
I've beaten that game like 10 times. So I know pretty much everything.
yeah, I've
When it
beaten
comes to
that
just playing through it
once,
casually.
and I actually played as John Bloodborne the first time I got through that game. I was using the that bones cleaver or whatever from beginning
Yeah,
to end, like that starting
the
weapon.
saw cleaver.
Yeah, the saw cleaver from beginning to end. I used that saw cleaver, and pretty sure I also had that John Bloodborne armor just because I was like, I'm not gonna change it. So
The thing about Bloodborne is that there's not weapons. There's really not.
no,
It's a very
it's
pared down skill set.
kind of something I don't really like about the game is that there's not a lot of like build variety. I don't think.
There
So-
is when it comes to stats. Like the stat thing is there's a lot of like weird like buffs and debuffs. Like the blood tinge stuff is interesting. in that game.
Sure, yeah. If you want to do like a build around like criticals and around like using your pistol and stuff, yeah.
Well, they also have like the beast forms and all that with the bullets and there's a lot of
The
interesting stuff.
I never
It's not as
so I used the beast pellets extensively. You don't actually like transform into anything with those because I use
no.
those.
It just adds to your beasthood.
It adds to your beasthood and just makes your attacks stronger. Because with the saw cleaver, like you would do insane damage if you kept up your beasthood with those beast pellets. So I would use those extensively. Those and like the little fireflies.
Yeah,
I remember using both of those, and that's how I was able to get through a lot of those bosses my first time playing through that game because I wasn't very good at the game.
right, and also like the clothing is basically very like it's mostly cosmetic. Like the armor does almost nothing for you.
Yeah.
Because they basically want you to dodge, so it's you're trying not to get hit.
Well,
so.
no, IGN says you got to use that wooden shield, so you should probably be using that wooden shield.
They should be taken out back and smacked with a hammer. That's what I think.
No, that wooden shield's really, really good for you. It lets you block attacks. No,
they have to. They have to be
like the original IGN guide. I watched a whole like a YouTuber go through that whole game with the IGN guide, and they told him to use the wooden shield. So he's just running around with his little wooden shield. He's like, "Man, this really sucks."
hilarious. Well, that's good to hear that you're almost in the mood for Bloodborne because I'm always in the mood. Excited to hear when you're ready to do that. We'll do that. So,
it's a good game.
I'm excited about that. But
I want to
Nightreign,
spend more time with that game.
Yeah, for sure, it's good. But Nightreign, you really enjoyed.
Yes,
still
absolutely.
continuing to enjoy
it. I've thought about it a lot, and I really think it's my favorite multiplayer game. Like straight up, I can't think of another multiplayer game that I like more than Nightreign. I think FromSoft did it. I think they made the perfect like multiplayer co-op experience.
Wow, high praise.
That game is phenomenal in terms of just like being able to get a couple friends and be like, hey, you guys want to hop on Nightreign? Yeah, sure. And it's just all muscle memory and everything from like planning your route to fighting bosses at this point is just like a matter of course. It's like, yeah, this we go here and here, and things just work out.
I want to play that game, and I want to play with you. Hope I can do that soon.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, they really need
we'll
to add like cross play to that. That would be the like final piece to that game being like incredible. So they just added the 2-player mode to that. So
I saw that.
Yeah. I've played that a little bit, and that's fun. It feels really well balanced.
Cool.
So
cool. That's good. Yeah, I am currently saving for my PC. So my savings account, I'm building it. So
yeah,
we're getting
the one of the first games you should get is definitely Nightreign, because I'm always down for that game. That game's just incredible for just tooling around with friends. And
let's put it this way: I'm about a third the way to my goal for buying a PC.
Yeah,
so we're getting
that's awesome.
We're getting there. Yeah. So Nightreign. I'll take a stab at it again if I can. I'm not in the headspace to try that by myself right now. I really wanted to like that game. by myself, but it's just not working. So I need a
Yeah.
crew, and that's what
Yeah, that and
Um,
I've played that game a lot with like a crew, and now I can just go in and enjoy that game solo runs. I've gone through and done every boss solo at least once, and then I've done every boss like in a group at least once. So
mhm.
that's kind of what I've been
Okay,
doing
cool.
with like these weekly boss releases as well. I'll like do it with friends, and then I'll go back and do it solo just to get the full experience of that boss. So
Hmm. I think it's it might be the one of the highest selling games of the year. I'm pretty sure it is the highest selling
yeah,
so far.
that game was kind of critically panned compared to like a Elden Ring as well. Like it got way lower ratings than an Elden Ring, but I'd put that game above Elden Ring personally. I think that game is better than base Elden Ring. I really do. I'm pretty strong about that.
Yeah,
It's got
yeah.
the right gameplay for me, personally. So that game just feels built for me. So
That's it's an
I'm
opinion. It's an opinion for sure.
I'm the antithesis, I would say, of like the player that is all about the journey, like the Demon Souls player I was discussing earlier. I think the antithesis of that. I can enjoy the journey, but I think I'm just way more about like that. Yeah, let's just do all of this combat and making that whole game all about the combat that I love. It makes it to where I feel like I don't have to do something dumb or stupid like a challenge run or something like that to enjoy the experience. I can just play the game and enjoy that experience because of how randomized it is. And from what I understand, down the line, there's been leaks of new added difficulty modes and MMR based matchmaking and difficulty modes. So that'll be fun to see.
Do you think they'll put PvP in that thing?
No, I don't think so. That's not the point of that game.
I
But
could see them having like an arena function. They could do that. I bet you they would at some
I
point.
doubt that, but maybe. I see a lot more just because there's no like customizable builds. So that's kind of the point of PvP, right? Is making your own build. But
True. Yeah, I guess you're
this
right.
game is just a co-op game. That's fine. I think the competitive piece will be when they add that skill-based matchmaking. Like people will be competitively trying to boost their score, their MMR, or whatever, and get like as deep into the night as possible, so to speak. Um,
Right. Yeah.
and like get the enemy stats or whatever will go up as you go deeper into that MMR system. So it'll be cool to see.
Hmm. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So that's Nightreign finished up on the trophy front or the achievement front, whatever you want to
Yep.
say. He got all the Steve achievements in that game. So
Yep.
yeah, that's fun. That's a good time. I will check that out more of that whenever I have a crew. So
Yep.
um, yeah. So I'm going to touch on a couple things. I'm going to move something up. So we have a doc, and I'm moving something up because it's the thing I played the least. So I started the Altars. Have you ever heard of the Altars?
Nope.
Um, it came out. What was this? June or maybe early July. But basically, the Altars is from 11-Bit Studios, who made this survival sim, basically like dramatic survival. Very relationship based, very community driven. That's how that game was. This War of Mine, like you have to make these hard decisions for your like community because you're in apocalypse. Oh, rat this guy out or tell the truth or like everything that you do is it's choice based and everything has like this ripple effect through your playthrough. And I think it might be run based where this War. And the Altars is very similar. It's got that DNA. So the premise of this game is that you crash land on this alien planet. I think you're a scientist and you're trying to mine for resources. And you crash land in your pod, and everybody that has been sent on this mission has died mysteriously. So you you basically open that game. You run to also on this alien planet, and you are given this device to clone yourself multiple times. Hence the Altars. So the thing about this is that when you clone yourself, they basically become a new person, like a brand new person. They with their own personalities, own sophistication, and you basically maintain that you are yourself like you are the original, even if they don't agree with you. Like there's a lot of interesting dynamics with that. Like they all think that they're the original too in some ways, but you have to like you play as the original guy from this cloning experiment, and you're basically just trying to run a, um, a vessel, like kind of mine for resources, create projects, make some hard decisions about like what it's like to survive in space, sort of thing. You can listen to like these versions things. Yeah, it seems really dynamic, really interesting. Fair warning though for people that are a little averse to this, like I am. There is some like AI generated. I don't know how like widespread it is or what it even helps with, but as far as I can see, it seems integrated okay. As long as it's not getting to the creative aspects of the game, I think I'm fine with it. But just fair warning, there is some AI generated stuff in this game for those who are sensitive to that, like I am. But yeah, I've only put like 30 so far, but I bought it. I've been looking at this thing, the altars, and yeah, it seems really cool. I think I'm going to be digging this game. I love a very crunchy, mechanically dense game. I love games like with a lot of like dynamic relationships, and this feels like one of those things. And it feels like it's run based too. You can fail a run of this game, and you'll have to start over at the beginning. There's like is it a 30-day timer? I can't remember. There's like a day timer, like when a run is supposed to end, and you can fail it. I've heard stories of like the crew killing you, like the copies of yourself killing you, everyone starving. Like there's all kinds of weird stuff, choices. So like that dynamic, divergent game, really excited to check out. So yeah, that's the one I'm going to be picking away at after I finish some other small stuff. But yeah, the altars, the first impressions of that thing, really, really, really great. I think it's going to be kind of special. There's a lot of interesting mixes there, is what I think. So yeah, I'll be checking in more on that probably next block. A lot more in depth to say about it. The one game I have been playing a lot though, and I wanted to kind of get into it before I talk about is Wheel. I've been playing a lot of this game, Wheel World. So you're familiar with the Mess Off, right? They made Nidhogg 1 and Nidhogg 2. Right?
I haven't heard the name of that studio, but I know Nidhogg 1 and 2.
I know Nidhogg very well. You're very good at Nidhogg 1.
Yeah, I've played them like once, but yep.
Nidhogg's a great co-op game, great multiplayer game. Like you're trying to reach the end of a stage, left or right, depending on where you're at, and you have to kill people to do so, kill your opponent to do so. So it's like a dueling game. Yep. That's great. That first one is great. The second one's really good too. The first one is where it's at. That game's phenomenal. Sure. And it's simple. So I love Nidhogg. It's a great part. But yeah, Messhoff. This is their first game that's not Nidhogg. I want to say I don't know actually what else they've done besides that. They might have had another game in there. I'm not sure. But yeah, this is a very, very, very different Wheel World. It's it's open zone bike racing game. We'll put it that way. Very narrative light, extremely narrative light, like shockingly so. The premise of Wheel World is that you wake up in this prairie, in this like I don't know, this kind of rural island sort of setting, and you are recruited by this ghost that has basically taken residence in this like mythical bike. He's trying to tell you about what's going on with the. Hey, you gotta take me to Mount Send to do this thing that brings everybody together and unites all the bikers and stuff. It's weird and ephemeral and you know the story. But the mechanics are you're building your bike, and every time you finish a race or do an activity, you get credits to buy parts of this bike. And you can find stuff in the world. You can, win races, and you can just basically customize. I'm such a sucker for these games, dude. Such a sucker. Like Days Gone has this where you're building your bike. Mad Max is the best version of this where you build your entire car. I am such a sucker for this game, for these types of games. So when I heard this was coming out, I'm like, Will World. Let's check this. And for the most part, it's really fun. Like I said, very activity based. Almost everything you're doing. So basically, you'll pick a race that'll have a degree of tell you terrain you're going on, and you kind of build your bike to specs of it. But it's not as hardcore simi as you think it would be. But you're basically racing around these tracks. You can set times. There's like a Tony gathering the word sort of thing. Like you have to gather the 3 letters of your name, KAT for cat, as part of this like little pip that you get, this little achievement pip for like a completing a race 100%. You have to beat it under a certain time. You have to beat it getting all the letters. A couple other things like be in the top 3 or whatever to like complete a stage, and it's very like checklisty that way. But I'm really liking this game. It is not ready for prime time, like not even slightly. It runs really badly on PlayStation 5, really, like shockingly bad. It's probably a 30 to 40 frame game, maybe, but it can get down to the teens when you're in like heavy populated areas. Yeah, and there's like some like really funky race things that are bothering me. Like for instance, you're driving around this like there's like a cordon off race thing, follow the arrows. But they have this like dynamic traffic system where like cars just go while you drive, and there's like specific parts of these towns that you're driving through where cars will just stop when you're driving on a track, and when you hit a car, you have to reset, and that puts you back in the placement for top 8 or something. And it's so frustrating, and it happens all the time. Like for instance, you're cresting this hill. This is specifically when I was driving. You're cresting this hill. You're passing this checkpoint mark. This car is on a road, right? And you're driving like you're supposed to dodge traffic, but it's like generated in a sort of like monster closet way where cars are just hitting you as they come out of the checkpoint, and it's just so frustrating. And I'm like, did no one like look at this and go like, this feels bad? Like I don't know. There's some weird design choices and weird structural issues with this game, but the bones of it are really good. I think the design's great. The look of the world is awesome, and it's fun. It's just a fun game to play. Real World. I'm really enjoying it. I put hours into it. It seems like really easy to complete. You do all the races, do all the achievements per race, and find all the stuff. And I'm into that. It seems like a very short game. I think I'm a third of the way through it already. So it's a 5-6 hour game. Not very long at all. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. Real World, for sure. So yeah, that's basically all I had on that. Did you take a look at this Real World at all? Just to kind of see what it looked like?
Yeah, I've taken a little bit of a look. Yeah, it's not really my type of
not your cup of tea,
thing per se, but yeah, it seems interesting enough.
Yeah, and I'll pull you into the fold here. I'm kind of done talking about Real World. I'll probably finish it because I am blitzing through it. The thing that you wanted to get to but didn't get to, and that I got some time with, is that new HD 2D game. What is it called? The Adventures of Elliot, Millennium something or other. I mean, it's on 2, and it's one of these new like standalone games. Just from the direct, what was your first impressions of it? Did you think it was another Octopath? Because I definitely did.
No. I knew it was like distinct like right away after seeing this thing.
Really?
But yeah, I knew that it was like that. Obviously, the same like HT duty stuff was going on with that, but I figured this would be like another like a triangle strategy type deal. But yeah, no, it looked interesting enough. I want to check out that demo. Like you were saying, I haven't checked that out, but the piece of it that I kind of latched onto was just like the whole feel of it felt. I know we were saying like mana and things like that, but it feels more to me like some indie Steam games that I've played in the past, like Reciteer I've talked on the podcast about before. It feels like that sort of combat, just more polished. So yeah, it seems interesting enough. So I gotta check this out.
Yeah, it's a pretty lengthy demo for what I played. I put about an hour and a half into. Like there's a lot to do. They kind of just put you in a chunk of the world and let you go. The setting of this thing is ridiculous. Like we were talking like Game of the Year category, the best name for a thing in a video game. Calling your world Philadelphia is hilarious because it looks like Philadelphia, like the spelling does. So when I saw that, it's like enjoying your group or whatever to traverse the worlds of Philadelphia. I'm like, don't you guys mean Philadelphia? It was just really funny. But yeah, the playing of it, it's very simple from what I've seen. I think the hook of this thing is that it's very akin to a mana game, where it's a complete action game, just hacking and slashing basically, or like an East. It feels like an East is very very East coded.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
people say it's a lot like East 3. I haven't gotten around to that game yet, but
East Origin, whatever. Like it's very like kind of like tilt shift top down sort of thing.
Well, it's not the bump combat like an East.
No, it's not bump. It's you are attacking.
Yeah,
you're attacking, and you have like this bow function. You can like hotkey different weapons. Like you have a bow, you can put on a different button, which is kind of cool. And you have an interesting like movement system where you have this fairy that you can control with the right analog stick, because the camera doesn't need to move obviously fixed to your guy. So the right stick is used to move this fairy around, which you can either teleport to it, which is like a warp, or you can use it to sprint, which is kind of cool. At least initially. There might be more powers as the game goes. But yeah, very simple so far. It's you're fighting kobolds and monsters and stuff, and opening treasure chests. It seems simple. Like I don't have what the game is. It's just a demo to get the feel of it. I fought like a boss. It was interesting. It's when you get into a dungeon area, like the doors lock off, and you're just fighting the guy. And it's got that great 2D pixel art. It's cool to see like that like Octopath Traveler sort of like battle art, but like the actual sprites are moving around. It's kind of cool. But yeah, it looks fantastic. It's a great looking game. I'm excited to see more of it. It only got announced for PC and Switch too, I want to say, or Switch. I didn't hear it coming for anything else yet. But when it comes out, I'll check it out. That's a next year game. It is just a demo for this year. That game is coming out next year. The Adventures of Elliot. So, yeah, check out that demo. I think you would like it. I don't know over progress if you were to continue playing it on Switch 2. I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, usually those things they carry over the progress. Like that's been like a staple since like the Bravely Default days. They put out those demos and then they're like, oh yeah, you can carry over your progress and you also get this like little bonus thing for doing the demo. So
yeah, and that's also something I wanted to bring up too. Was that was the last game I played before my Switch unceremoniously shut down and I didn't know what to do with it. Kind of scared. We were on a call and it was just I had to power, which was odd. It was like in this weird like not asleep not awake thing. It was just kind of like in between. It was in limbo, my Switch 2, and I was like, this thing's busted, I'm going to be pissed. But it turned out to be fine. I just had to I used like a HD or not HDMI, the USB-C on the top, and it just woke. Okay, wild. It hasn't done it since this lockup, so I'm keeping my eyes peeled. I'm looking through like heavy lidded eyes at it. You better not do this again. So,
right.
Hopefully it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, great demo. I think you should check it out. It's a good time. Yeah, the last thing I kind of wanted to talk about for the new stuff we've been playing is Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. This game came out very recently, a week or so ago. I've had my eyes set on it for a while because it is from the game who made Blasphemous, and I like Blasphemous. It's a great game. Really, really good pixel art, and this game is no different. But yeah, I wanted to compare it to something. It's kind of interesting. So, like, did you ever play The Messenger at all?
Nope.
You never
No,
did.
I
Okay,
I
it's
never
from Savage Art.
played. I've never played any of those types of like 2D like Souls-like-y things except for Hollow
Yeah,
Knight. So
right. So like the messenger plays out more. Pardon me. Like a 2D side scroller initially, and then it becomes a Metroid. It
yeah,
basically starts as an 8-bit game, and then through events of the story, the game becomes 16-bit for the
that
messenger.
sounds
It's kind of
like
interesting.
sounds a bit like Retro Game Challenge and the ninja game in that game because that one starts out like a sort of almost arcadey ninja game where you're like going through like doors trying to kill enemies as like a little 8-bit ninja, and then eventually you hit
Yep.
the third game in the series, not like a real thing, right? That's the whole crux of Virtual Game Challenge. But you hit that third game, and it becomes just like a sort of a Ninja Gaiden type side scroller game, and you're like, oh, this is cool. This is like supposed to be like 16-bit era. Flexing. It's
Yeah.
graphics and its ability to do more right than the 8-bit
Yeah.
piece
Yeah.
of that. So
It's very similar to that. It feels that way, but
mhm.
the messenger is also very Ninja Gaiden, like original Ninja Gaiden,
Mhm.
and it's the main guy looks like uh, Joe Hayabusa or Ryo Hayabusa, whoever the main guy was. But the messenger is so Ninja Gaiden pilled. So it's interesting to see another 2D Ninja Gaiden game come out, because it's literally from the same series.
Yeah.
It's hard to not compare the two because they're so similar. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound to Messenger. Messenger's music is unbelievable. It's so good. By Rainbow Dragon Eyes, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Love that soundtrack. But Ragebound is, it seems like a pretty solid 2D side scroller right now. It doesn't seem to have the penchant to be like cruel and very difficult like the regular NES games. But it seems like I don't know. It seems kind of easy in some spots, but it's fun. It's fun to get around. There's a lot of like interesting movement tech and stuff. I'm about an hour into it, and it's a continuation of the series. Like you have Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden Black in this game. Interesting. Like straight from like the games from Xbox. Um, and yeah, they represent him here. You don't play as him; you play as another Kenji. Yeah, it seems like another Ninja Gaiden game, just not as hard. And yeah, I'm gonna be playing more of it. It looks interesting. I don't. The story seems functional, whatever. But yeah, if you like a 2D side scroller, this seems like the new hotness. There's another Ninja game coming out, Shinobi. That looks pretty good too. So, yeah, we'll be getting our ninja kicks this month or so. But yeah, if you like a good 2D side scroll, seems like you get pretty covered this next couple months. So, yeah, that's kind of all the new games I have. I'm pretty good on that. Let's do this. How about we take a quick break, and we will refresh ourselves, put on some powder, and we'll get back at you with some old stuff. What do you
Got to
say?
powder my nose, yeah.
Powder my nose, yes. We're back, baby. I want to hear about some photography. Tell me about that fatal frame.
Ching ching. Ching
Ka-chunk,
ching.
ka-chunk, ka-chunk. Give me pictures of Spider-Man.
Give me pictures of Spider-Man. That's right. I love that as a kid. I actually think that's like he's like one of the best like characters in anything. I really like Jonah Jameson.
He's a menace. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the best.
He's
In
awesome.
the Spider-Man games, he's so good too.
Mhm,
He's become
mhm.
like he's so radical. He gets fired from the Daily Planet or wherever their Daily Bugle, whatever it was,
They Beagle,
and
yep.
he becomes a podcaster.
Yep,
Yeah, he
yep.
becomes a podcaster. It's hilarious.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's so good. Anyway, continue. J. Jonah Jameson supremacy forever.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so I've been playing that original Fatal Frame. I guess those games get a little like weird around like the like fifth entry or whatever, and like they get very Koei Tecmo-y I'll say.
Jiggly Wiggly is what I'm
Jiggly
hearing.
Wiggly, yeah. And so, but that first game, it's just like I mean, you play as a pretty girl, right? A pretty like high
Whoa.
schooler girl or whatever. I'm not really sure what age group. I think her name's Miku. Is in?
Probably high school.
Yeah, most likely.
Miku, no
Uh,
wonder you played this game.
right? Yeah, but pretty sure her name's Miku, but
Wee.
for real.
Yeah.
But the the yeah, the game is pretty cool. It's doesn't have the greatest voice acting, and it's definitely
Ooh.
not the most graphically impressive PS2 game. If you contrast that to like this game to like a Silent Hill 3, where it's like Silent Hill 3 is probably the best looking game on the PlayStation 2. I can pretty confidently say that.
Yeah, debatable.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, like I would think so. And just because that thing released so late into the PS2's life cycle, and it didn't have
Does look
like
good.
any of the like frame rate issues that like a Shadow of the Colossus had. So the
Hmm.
yeah, that game is it's pretty cool. I like it. It's not what I expected that game to be. That's for sure. I just knew that it was had something to do with like spookiness and taking pictures, but didn't expect it to be sort of like a like a survival horror with like this camera combat, right? Whenever you use your camera for a lot more than combat, but it's kind of the most like I guess engaging part of the game would be like the camera combat. You got this ghost coming at you, and you gotta focus your camera on it for a second to build up your spirit gauge, and then you take a picture and it with your special spirit camera, and it's like so.
Hmm.
Um,
But first, let me take a selfie with this a ghost.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, you're not really taking a selfie with it this game. You're just kind of taking a
Well,
picture
I'm
of
taking
it.
a yeah.
I'd imagine some of the
Taking a
later
not a
games in
selfie.
this series, you probably do like, oh, let me just get this selfie with this, ghost real quick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Let me
but
just get it. Snap a quick pic. Yeah.
yeah, but it's like the I'm thinking of the lady off of Superman, that new Superman movie, how she's
Yeah,
taking a
that's
selfie with
exactly who I
everything.
was thinking
Yeah,
of. Yeah,
yeah,
like Luther's girlfriend. She's
yeah.
like taking a picture, and it turns out to be one of the most crucial parts of
Uh
the
huh.
story.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Well, she did it on purpose
Such
too.
a
Like she wasn't like the whole point was that like yeah she was planning ahead. Like yeah I'm gonna take all these selfies, and they're not random selfies. They're incriminating evidence against Lex Luthor in case if this guy like goes crazy on me
because he
basically.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like to the naked eye, it's just like, oh, she's taking a selfie.
Uh
You know,
huh.
that's a
Yeah.
good bit in that
So
movie.
yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah,
Everything. Yeah.
all
Everything
time
about that
character.
movie has a lot of subversive pieces to it that I enjoy. So.
Side thought. Why is Jimmy so weirded out by her? She's in love with him. That would be awesome. I don't know. She's not that weird.
No, no, he's just
Uh,
kind of a weird guy. I think is he's
he's just drowning in women, and he's just like, I no, thank you, none for me, please. It's just kind of funny. Yeah.
yeah,
Anyway, that's a side bit. But anyway, Fatal Frame. Fatal Frame.
yeah. It's pretty cool. I like it. I like the whole. It's got the like piecemeal storytelling to where like you'll go around the mansion, you'll pick up some notes, and you'll be like, oh, this, and this happened. These children went missing, and we don't know what happened to them. Oh, we found one of the children. Will be like the next note. It's like, oh, we found one of these children, but her parents are gone, so we have to get her a foster home, stuff like that. It yeah, it
Spooky.
feels almost like a Souls like type way of storytelling. Like you can just play through this game without caring about the story. You can just all I want to do is take pictures of ghosts. Okay, well you can do that, or you can engage with the game's world building and lore, and go around collecting all these different piecemeal notes about what the events of this game are based around, and what is going on in the past, or in the far past, or you can engage with the present that your character is currently experiencing. So it's an interesting game. I'm not really like a huge like spookity spook guy. Like it's not really my favorite genre. It's not really something that like spooky games don't really get to me. It's not like gaming just isn't a media that I can really like feel that spookiness with. But
there's some games out there. Ooh.
Yeah, I just haven't. I haven't. I've tried and it just doesn't get me like that. But
we'll talk. We'll talk. You haven't played some really
maybe,
intense stuff.
but all that to say, I like the vibes of it. I think it's a fun little jaunt through this spooky mansion with the spooky ghosts and the people going around the mansion. You like see this like ghost. You're like, oh, let me get a quick picture of this ghost. And then you'll find like one that's like actively like hostile to you. And like, oh, let me back away from this ghost and take a picture while I'm backing up, because you can kind of like back up while you're like in your first person take a picture mode. So it's kind of a fun little thing.
So it's mostly third person until the pictures, right?
Yeah, it's third person survival horror, and then you go into first person when you're in combat, basically, so that you can switch between third and first. Like I'll like go to third, reposition my character, and then I'll go to first and kind of just like back up while taking pictures of the spooky ghost until it goes away. I don't know what. They don't really die because they're already dead, but they become ectoplasm. There we go.
So it's just Ghostbusters by way of Pokemon Snap, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, exactly. So
interesting. She's like, back away, why don't you do a photo album? You don't want that. And they're like, oh, they run away.
Yeah, and then they go, oh.
Ooh.
But it's got some. Sorry.
So I would love to play this. Sorry, I've been reading a lot of Junji Ito lately.
Oh
lately,
yeah.
Which I'll get into. So I think I would love this.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a really cool journey. I like it. I've heard that the second game's even better. So, but I've been enjoying my time with this first game. But I think one of my favorite pieces of it is pretty early on you find like this tape recorder, and you'll start to pick up like audio tapes, and when you pick them up, you just pick up the tape. You don't have to engage with it at all. The game doesn't force you to engage with it. But if you choose to go to your inventory, you can listen to these tapes, and it's just somebody actually like voice acting, speaking a very like monotone voice about like the events of it. So it feels like very documentary, very Blair Witch Project in that regard. So I'm like, yeah, this is my jam. I like getting these cassette tapes and kind of just playing them in my little tape recorder. Makes it feel analog a bit. So because it's supposed to take place in like 1984ish. So
nice. So are you playing this on PS2 original hardware sort of
PS2,
thing?
yeah. I've got the
nice.
game right here actually. Yeah, Fatal Frame.
Ooh, very nice, very nice. Yeah. Is that a Game World purchase by?
Yep. Game World purchase. Yeah.
Good stuff. When was it? I don't want to get too into it. Was it pricey or not really?
I remember it being like about the same as a modern game, priced around there, so it wasn't too bad.
Okay. That's not too bad for a retro game like that.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, people love Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly. That's
the one that people like, and I'm sure I'll get around to that eventually because I've been enjoying my time with this game, so I want to get through this game. I will get through this game at some point. So
I'm excited to hear your comparison between Fatal Frame and then Silent Hill F in September.
Yeah, those are going to be a pretty good comparison, I think. Series wise, I want to see how far of the how much of the Fatal Frame series I can get into.
Sure,
because they've got that Wii U entry that I'll probably check out eventually, just to see what the hubbub is about, how Gooner core it is, so to speak. So
Is it really? That's funny. Yeah, I am
Yeah,
so into that new setting for
yeah.
Silent Hill
Silent Hill
F.
F
Like,
is going to be really interesting. I think so.
I hope so. It looks phenomenal. Just that setting, the character, the Ito-ness of it. I'm in the bag for it, man. It looks awesome.
Yeah,
Silent Hill is slowly becoming one of my favorite horror franchises. Like it's just
yeah,
they're doing
yeah.
some really good work.
They're
Yeah.
the best.
You
They're
need
the
to play
best.
that Silent Hill 2, man, this Halloween or something. It's so good. It's so good.
I
Oh, that game is so good.
I just I don't think that game can supplant Silent Hill 2 for me. That is one of my
You
all
should
time
play
favorite
it.
games.
You
I
should play it.
love that PS2 original so much. So
You should. We should do a swapsies. You play that version, I play the original. We should do swapsies.
yeah,
That'd be fun.
James Sutherland is just a really cool character. One of the best in gaming, I think.
Hmm. That man. Oh, that remake. One of the best remakes ever. Speaking of horror remakes, like you said, like games can't get you like that. Silent Hill 2 is scary, man. That game is so scary. That remake is. It was hard to get through. Like I had to take a
I
break.
would if
And
I was
I don't get scared by that stuff.
the biggest issue is if I was playing that game, I'd be playing it on PC and like it's hard for me sometimes to like get engaged with something when I'm playing it on my PC. So, um, like I don't know,
Yeah,
that's
I got
something
you.
that I've felt recently. That's why I've been trying to play more things on my
Yeah,
consoles. So
it's not like immersive. Yeah, I
yeah,
understand. Um, yeah, like Dead Space. Dead Space might be the scariest game I've ever played. Like
yeah,
that remake is so. The audio design is just. Oh my god, so brutal. It's brutal.
yeah.
Um,
There's some RPG Maker
but
stuff that's pretty unnerving and subversive that I definitely say have gotten to me before in the past. So I love RPG Maker horrors. So
yeah, I gotta. One of these days when I catch up on all these video games, I should take you up on one of those and play.
yeah, those things are real good.
Yeah. So, Fatal Frame, you've been how many hours did you put into this? Do you think a couple hours, maybe
Yeah,
hour?
less than to about hour 45. So I'm
Hour
good
45.
good, but
Okay.
I feel like I'm a good way through that game. I don't think that game's very long. So it's more of an
Yeah,
experience
that is a
game
short game.
than like a I guess long game, right? It's more of like a game that you play for the atmosphere, for the experience, for the world building, and for like the cutscenes. Like I feel like every other room I enter is there's another cutscene of like zooms in on Miku. I really hope her name's Miku, and she and she'll be like oh, and then like this spooky ghost will come from behind, and she's like, "Oh, spooky ghost again!" You know, it's like,
And
oh,
she
they.
rounds the corner and she goes, "Yeah." She goes, Mario,
I've been waiting for it.
Mario."
That's a great game too.
Yeah.
That's a fun game, but
Hey, Luigi's Mansion 3 though.
I don't know about that
That's
game, but that
that's a
original
better
one's
game.
great. Um,
That's better than both of them.
I
That
don't
game
I don't
is
know about that. You're
killer.
just saying things, but anyways,
Have you played it? Have you played it?
you're just saying things. Yeah, so
I've played all the Luigi's Mansion games. Three's where it's
okay,
at,
but
like,
you
that
haven't
game
played
blocked.
Fatal Frame, so but
No, but I'm just talking about
the
Luigi's Mansion at this point.
the point is right. You'll just enter a room and like she'll be like looking at something, and then like this like little thing will like come like crawling at her, and she's like, oh, I gotta take a picture of this thing. Let me take
Yeah.
a picture. So it's fun. It's fun.
Don't let me defend myself. I'm pulling out my cell phone. Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah. This is
No,
crazy,
it's not a
dog.
cell
World Star!
phone. It's a
World
spirit
Star!
camera. And it has
Oh.
spiritual film that you use in your spirit camera. And different types of spirit film have different spiritual energies.
Oh, I get it now. So it is like Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, I guess since it's not that long, well, you probably beat it pretty soon. So that's exciting. Um, Horror games, they're good. I love horror games so much. It might be my
Yeah, they're
favorite
alright.
genre of game besides Besides, like, I have to be in the mood for a horror game, but I adore like horror tinged video games. They're like my bag. I love that stuff. Um,
Spooky games,
yeah,
evil games, even.
spooky games. I love spoopy stuff. That's me. I like Bloodborne. Bloodborne spoopy. Um, but since we were talking about Luigi's Mansion, bring it back to the Nintendo side of things. You have been finishing the hell out of some Nintendo video games, kind of.
Yeah,
Mostly,
I've been the the soy Nintendrone. Yeah, that's
hire
been
this
me.
man.
Oh, hire
The,
this man, Nintendo. He did Mario in
the
Unreal
Eclipse
Engine.
dev, hire him. Like, hire the Eclipse guy.
Well,
Hire him.
you probably should hire the Eclipse devs, unironically, but they did a great job with that thing. Yeah. So I've been we talked about Donkey Kong. That was something that I completed. That Power's never gonna complete because he hates that game. So
I'll complete it. I'm a man of my word. What do you mean? I'll beat that game.
yeah, he hates that game. So he probably won't
No,
get
I
back to that
don't.
thing.
You probably hate it more than I do. Let's be real.
That's probably true, but and then I after that I was like, well, this game made me want to play two things, so I'm gonna just go and play those two things. So I did some finagling, some wizardry with my Steam Deck, and I got Super Mario Eclipse running on the Dolphin emulator on that, hooked up to my Sony Trinitron. So,
And that is a Sunshine mod, correct?
yep, Super Mario Sunshine. Wahoo!
Wow.
So,
Al
yeah,
Delfino covered in
it's
graffiti.
it's basically just that base game with 120 extra shines built into it with like fan made levels, and there's some extra characters to unlock, just a couple. And then there's they've tried to make it as vanilla plus as possible, basically. So that game really does feel like an extension of Super Mario Sunshine, like a DLC pack. Like there was times
Right.
where like I was literally referring to it as like, yeah, I got to go to this DLC area. I'm like, wait, this isn't DLC. This is a mod. So
That's funny. Yeah, you enjoyed Eclipse though.
I really did. It was such a breath of fresh air for me after playing through Donkey Kong, where a lot of times like things would feel like noise. We discussed that that sometimes it would just like feel like I was just going through the motions. I didn't really feel that at all when I was playing through Super Mario Eclipse. Like there were times where it'd get like close to it, I'll admit, just because I was the velocity I was going through that game. But for the most part, I really did enjoy just about every second of that game. There's obviously some shine sprites in both the base game and in like the modded content that were, they could be annoying, for like a better word, to complete. There's one that I like to skip in the base game in particular. It's the one where you're supposed to go through like this whole maze in the Serena Hotel to get this fruit, to get this Yoshi to activate. But the speedrunners not too long ago discovered that you can just use the banana fruits that are readily available, and you can position yourself. You can do a backwards a backflip and throw the banana to clip into that pool area with the shine sprites. So that's kind of what I did. That's what I
awesome.
did to get to that shine sprite. I'm like, I don't want to do that maze. I'm okay. So I just clipped in there with the banana clip.
I love that.
Yeah. Obviously, I had to go back into that maze later to get all like the blue coins, but at that point I was like sequence breaking, so it wasn't hard to just go back in there and get those blue coins.
Right.
So I just didn't want to do that in the intended order, because the intended order is quite frankly annoying for that mission. So, but yeah, So,
Super Mario Eclipse. Yeah, so
yeah,
all
great.
together, how many shines is there?
240.
Okay, so 120
Yep.
for base, and then
Yep.
another 120.
240.
Okay.
Yep. They add an extra 120, and you definitely need to experience that like whole game. You need to collect all 240 because some of the best content is at the end of that mod pack. Like I adored some of the like last levels that were all just focused on like pushing the boundaries of what like a vanilla plus mod can be. Like though I'll admit those last like few areas, mod areas are a little on the boundary of like okay, this does feel more like a ROM hack than like the previous content that's like tied to Isle Delfino, but I really enjoyed my time with a lot of those pieces. So
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I like I said to you, I want to play my Switch copy of Sunshine, but you have extolled the virtues of Eclipse enough. I'm like, maybe I should check that out instead.
yeah, I mean that it's just such a great experience. I think it's one of my all time favorite experiences with a Mario game now. I think I can't think of like a Mario game that I like more than Super Mario Eclipse at the moment. So
Well, you like Sunshine chiefly anyway, so
yes,
it's kind of
so it's
it gets
more
you
of
there even
that.
further.
And honestly, a lot of the content in Eclipse I think I liked more than base game Sunshine. Maybe it's
Oh
recency
wow,
bias. Maybe it's I'm just so dog tired of the base game content, right? Because I've gone through it so much. But maybe it's also just they did an excellent job of understanding what made that game work, what made that game enjoyable for people who like that thing, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna do more of that, So,
yeah,
but
cool,
refine it.
good
So
stuff.
feels like a
Yeah,
refinement of that formula.
speaking of a fine time, we'll call it that. Besides Eclipse, which you got everything in, I
Yes.
assume you got
Yep.
everything you can do.
Yep.
You've been just 100%ing these games back to back. You did DK Bonanza, you
Yep.
did all of Eclipse, and
Yep.
then you turned to
I
Wario World,
Yes, that was
right?
the other thing that we had talked about that
That's
DK
so
Bonanza
much.
was
That's so much
reminding us
platforming. Oh my
of.
gosh.
And so
Yeah.
I was like, yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
need
for
to go
sure.
back to this thing because I'd only like booted it up briefly before and like I hadn't really engaged with it at all. So like yeah, I need to just go through this thing. So I booted that thing up and I started playing through that. I'm like, yeah, this is a little it's not as feature rich as like a Bonanza or like a Eclipse. It's more of a 2.5D platformer.
Yeah.
So it's got like that side scrolling camera, but you can move around in like a 3D space with that side scrolling camera. So it's more focused on combat than either a Bonanza or a Sunshine. And so that's just kind of Wario's shtick, his combat. And so, but yeah, so it had a lot of combat, it had a lot of puzzles. Some of those puzzles are tough, either like solving them or just like executing like the platforming on some of those platforming sections is also pretty tough. So it's a good challenge of a game, I'd say. Good fair challenge. But
Yeah. And so you got all this stuff, all the bits and bobs in that
I got
too,
all this
right?
stuff. I got the yep. I got all the treasures, rescued all the spritlings, and got all the crystals. And I 100%ed my way through that game. I kind of just exhausted the exploration of every one of those levels. There's only 8 levels in the game, so it's not like a huge game, not a long game. There's 4 worlds, 8 levels. So, and then there's a boss battle at the end of each level, a boss battle at the end of each world, and then there's the final boss battle. And the it's definitely more of a game about the journey than the destination because that final boss is kind of a pushover. But
That's Nintendo games though. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I was
That's how
expecting
Donkey Kong was
more
too.
because like some of those boss battles were pretty tough leading up to that final boss. And like I was saying, like some of those like puzzles and the platforming sections, like I was like on the cusp of like maybe I just look up the solution to this thing because this thing's kind of stumping me. But then I'd be like, no, I'm not feeling too pirate software today, so I just want to kind of experience this
pirate
thing.
Software.
So
we should grow our hairs out and we should grow our hair out in solidarity for him. What do you think?
For real.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we I got through that thing. Yep. I got everything in that thing. It's a lot like Luigi's Mansion in that if you like do everything and you do well in that game, then you get like the best castle at the end. So I got like the best castle. Yeah, a lot of Luigi's Mansion DNA in that respect because it's a kind of a short thing. That era is just kind of the era for like shorter experiences, I think.
Yeah,
that was people were like experimenting with like the newer technology that console generation had, I think, and so people are just putting out these like shorter experiences that they're like, yeah, we want to see if this thing works, if this gameplay works, we want to experiment and we want to people are still trying to figure out what worked, right? How to break into the mainstream, right? Yep. That was still before gaming was like a mainstream sort of thing, really. And so
definitely, yeah.
It wasn't until that HD era that gaming started getting more mainstream with the Wii and with the 360 and the PS3 to a lesser extent, I would say. But the 360 and the Wii really pushed gaming into the mainstream forefront, I think. And the PlayStation 3 was just like, yeah, we're here for like people who are really dedicated to the gaming thing. That's kind of how
it was really. It was really 360 even more than PS3. I mean, 360 was
like the casual man's like console. Is what I'm trying to say. Like, whereas the PS3 was like if you were already into gaming, you were like, yeah, I played the PlayStation 1 and 2, so I'm gonna stick with this PlayStation thing. Whereas the 360 is like I'm just a guy that hasn't ever really dealt with gaming much, but I'm just gonna get this Xbox thing because everyone is getting this Xbox thing, so.
I mean, I see it from a different perspective because I was that person, like, kind of, but like the 360 thing, it was just a better ecosystem than the PlayStation 3 was. Like, genuinely. Like, it had the games that ran on it ran better than on PS3. They had more variety for a long time. And PS3 made up its kind of like losses on that stuff. But, the price range that it came out on originally, the PS3, the 360 having a bunch of exclusive games, like that first Mass Effect, exclusive to the 360 for a long time. It wasn't until another re-release of that it even came over to Sony, Stuff like that, like Fable games, the Halo games, they were in their prime then. Like, it started as a casual box, but it soon became the de facto console. Like, you would get code for that if you were a reviewer, for instance, because most people play on 360. The same for the PS4 generation. People will get PS4 codes. Now people get PC stuff, right? Yeah. It became the de facto of its generation. So I see where you're coming at from there, but I'll balk at it slightly because I think this 360 just has a better stable than the PS3 ever had, personally.
Yeah, I just mean like I think that with the PS3, the people who were getting that thing were like diehards, right? Whereas the 360 was like 100%. The console for everyone. That's what I was trying to say. It's like
console for everyone. I wouldn't even just say just casual. It was for everyone. It was like the entertainment box. Yeah, like it was the first time that like people were getting into streaming and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I think we're both on the same page there. So yeah. Are you gonna play another platformer after this? Are you gonna go back and play? Or are you just kind of like? Are you kind of just like I had my moment or what?
Yeah, I thought about like booting up like Ape Escape 2, and I might still get back to that game. And I thought about like booting up like a Spyro or something, but I'm like, think I'm good on platformers. There's just not really a lot that I can
Oh,
think of that I need to
Spyro. Spyro's
go
so
and
good.
play at the moment. Nothing too pressing. Yeah, and you've been extolling and online I've been seeing the like extolling of Crash 2, and that's another game I need to check out because I've only played that first
Crash
one.
2's
So
good.
yeah,
Dude, honestly though, like Spyro clowns Crash in every iteration.
I've played
Spyro
most
1
of
through
Spyro
3.
1. I've played most of Spyro
Oh.
1, and that game was alright. I
The
I hope
Reignited
that
trilogy
those
genuinely makes those games better. Like
I
those
hope
games
that
are
those games
amazing.
get more interesting than 1. I will say because 1 it doesn't have a whole lot of interesting going for it, but I've seen playthroughs of 3, and that game at least looks pretty interesting. It seems like it shakes up the formula in a lot of good ways. So
The Toys for Bob remake of Spyro is so good. It's so good.
yeah, I own all those
They
games
keep
on
the core
PS1.
framework in.
So
Yeah, I mean, play it however you want.
yeah.
Spyro's supremacy over Crash Bandicoot specifically. I think Crash Bandicoot's fine. It's more of a gimmick platformer. The first one is brutally hard.
That first one
But,
very much is a gimmick platformer. Yeah, that
it's
gosh,
ridiculous.
gosh.
Like the things that they ask you to do in that game are
Yeah.
just
That game
They're just unreasonable.
that first game in particular, I can comment on because I have played through that thing very recently, and
Ugh.
it's just baffling that game had so much carryover from like the like not even the SNES era. That game had like concepts from like the NES and arcade
Oh
sort
yeah,
of eras of like
100%.
we want to make sure that you have to do our levels over and over again to master them. Otherwise, we're just not going to let you proceed. Basically,
Yeah,
I
but they
wouldn't even
reinforce that
imagine
in the worst ways.
I wouldn't even
I
imagine
think they just
100%ing that
reinforce
thing.
it.
I don't think I would ever 100% that game, like get all the boxes, because that just wouldn't be fun. Getting through that game like normally, just seeing the end credits, that was fine for me.
Crash Bandicoot 2 is such a superior game in every single way. Every
Okay.
single way.
Yeah.
On PS1 especially. Yeah, that's a great game. Crash Bandicoot 2 is a favorite of mine. I beat it on PS1 and really loved that game back in the day. But also the remake for that too, super good, really good. It makes Crash Bandicoot 1 actually playable,
Nice.
in my opinion. So, yeah, they have the same. It has the same feel. It's a very similar feeling game to the PS1. That's why I think you would like the remakes because they are so faithful and they feel like those games, just in a very it's like in a more modern context. Like for instance, Spyro 1, they had like this template of dragons. They're just like, hey, you found a dragon egg, here's a dragon. And in the Reignited trilogy for Spyro 1, they gave each dragon like a personality and they like a different look to them. And it's really great, the stuff that they decided to do. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Spyro because of that Reignited trilogy. So good. But yeah, so we'll see if you get into Ape Escape 2, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess we'll see where the
we'll
wind
see
takes
because
you.
that game was all right. It was kind of a turn your brain off. You got to go collect these guys, right? And I talked before that I had some issues with the controls, and I think that was before I got my official PS2 remote. So maybe if I go back to that with an official PS2 remote, those controls might be better.
Yeah.
But that game, it didn't have the soundtrack of Ape Escape 1, and it didn't have the atmosphere of Ape Escape 1. Those are the two pieces that really sold me on Ape Escape 1 as like one of my all-time favorite of those collectathon platformer sort of things. And yeah, I adore that game. And so I might have talked a little bit about this like on the pod before, but like soundtracks for me especially are like a big part of games. That's why I've stuck with like Sonic games for as long as I have, because those games always have killer soundtracks. Like you can knock the gameplay all you want, but you can't knock a Sonic game soundtrack. Like those soundtracks are always
Rolling
just
around at the speed
killer.
of sound. Yeah.
Like, even like some of the worst ones, like Sonic 06, had great soundtracks. So
Yeah, they're going hard in some department. Good for them.
yeah, they're consistent in one thing, and that's the soundtrack. So
Yeah.
and that,
That's for sure.
I think I've just kind of latched onto that a little bit as a fan of those games, and so I kind of seek that out in the games that I play and the games that I really enjoy, that are memorable for me is the soundtrack, and consequently the games that like stand out in terms of like terribleness, are due to like poor soundtracks or poor sound design. So
Yeah. All I know is Sonic 3 is a banger, and the way they depicted Shadow was sick.
yeah,
He looks awesome.
yeah, that's
So
a good movie.
it made me want to play Shadow the Hedgehog.
That's
What's
a good
wrong with me?
game. No, there's nothing wrong with you. That's a good game. Even people that
He's so
historically don't like Sonic games like that game, because that's a good game. So
He said "damn" in hell, and he held a gun and
where's that
rode a
damn
motorcycle.
fourth
And he had
Chaos
a
Emerald?
yeah, exactly. What the damn heck is going on here? I got a gun. That's Shadow.
Yeah.
That was very snake coded, which kind of is a good segue to my next thing. Is I've been playing some Metal Gear, a lot of Metal Gear. I've been playing old games. That's what I've been doing. A lot of old games.
Yeah, you're trying to copy my shtick. What the heck?
I guess. Yeah. Enough of these new games. Old news, right? I've been playing that Metal Gear Solid 3, and I finished it.
What a thrill!
And what a thrill! That song, no joke, it's become a meme. You literally climb a ladder like 3 times in that game, and then it goes like.
I was climbing a ladder.
It's awesome every time. It's awesome every time.
I was climbing a ladder in Fatal Frame, and it's a survival horror, so you So I was watching. I hope her name is Miku. Miku climb this ladder, and I'm like, what a thrill!
I hope you know when you say Miku, I'm just picturing Hatsune Miku holding a Kodak camera and just framing it.
That's great. That'll be the thumbnail, right?
Honestly, put a little reminder in chat. I will do that. I will do that. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid 3, that ladder is hella long, and that song plays all the way through. That game is fantastic. Like, even the PS2 version of that game is just so good. Oh, man. I don't know where it falls for me in the Metal Gear pantheon yet. I need to finish 4. Once I finish 4, I will have played all the main ones,
Sure.
besides Peace Walker. Every Metal Gear game is so good. Like, there's not one bad one in terms of the main series. I think my personal favorite out of all of them had been 2. 3 is just, oh my gosh, it's so superior to 2 in so many ways. Not the story. The story for 2 is all-timer and prescient and modern in such an interesting way. Like, Metal Gear Solid 2 continues to be the most correct video game of all time in some weird way. But 3 is so interesting in the gameplay stuff that they decide to do, and the story that they decide to tell, the setting they place it in, the characters they surround you with. It's fantastic. And so the thing about Metal Gear is that there's basically 2 timelines. 2 timelines that intersect. There's the big boss stuff, and there's Solid Snake. And I'm not going to spoil anything, obviously, but you play as Big Boss, who is known as Naked Snake in Metal Gear Solid 3. It's basically a prequel to everything Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid 3, basically. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but basically, like, you're being dropped in to take care of things and procure everything on site during Metal Gear, and try to stop this like nuclear war from happening and disabling this proto Metal Gear, basically called the Shagohod. That's kind of the point of that game. And yeah, I adored this game so thoroughly. I haven't loved a PS2 game like this in a long time. Like, it's. If we were to make a PS2 list, it might be 1, if not 2. Like, it's there, dude. Like, it's so good. The story's fantastic. The codec stuff is so silly in this game. Like, I think that's the highlight for any Metal Gear game is the codec stuff. The strength of that. Like, I love one. One's got classic Kodak conversations. Two gets so woolly and wild, but three gets so off the wall in very specific ways. Like, so for instance, you're saving in this game, and I've told you this. Um, you have a character named Paramedic. She saves for you, and she's a huge film buff, and she likes to tell you about some old movies. So you're saving. She's like, "You want to save Snake?" In your radio thing, tuning into the channel like you do in Metal Gear, and you're saving on a radio station. And once you're done, she goes like, "So Snake, have you ever heard of the War of the Worlds? That's a good movie." And Snake's like, "I don't watch movies. I'm a spy." And it gets really good. They went on a 4 to 5 minute long diatribe about James Bond and how Snake should have a James Bond gun that he could hide, or a cigarette lighter, and like his gadgets. It's so silly. Snake talked about taking off his pants and being truly naked Snake. It is so wild, that game. I loved it. Metal Gear Solid 3 is a killer game. The best bosses of the series by far. That end, like the end sniper fight, the name of the character is The End. One of the all-timer bosses ever. I loved the chase of that boss fight. And yeah, the end of that game. Tears. It's, man, a beautiful ending, fantastic story. Hideo Kojima has never missed, like ever, 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 ever. Every game I've ever played of his, bangers all around.
Well, he misses in some of his, some of his more taste-driven pieces.
I was going to get to this next. So, the sidekick character of this game.
Oh no.
Is Eva.
Okay.
She straight up, she has like this biker suit, bodysuit on.
Okay.
I don't know why she zips that fucker down all the way. So you just see whatever's under there. And she's just wearing a bikini top or bra or whatever. And she's just hanging out, driving a motorcycle. And you're just like, oh, Kojima. And it has the situational zoom in thing, like with R1, like, oh, some scenes you can zoom in, it's always on her boobs or butt or something. You're just like, nice, good job, Kojima. You know what you like, I suppose. Good thing he's got this adult woman fetish. He puts it everywhere, right?
Yeah, that's so weird.
Oh, stop with all these. But yeah, the characterization of Eva is so silly. And that I wonder what they're going to do with Delta, Metal Gear Solid Delta. Is it going to be completely 1-to-1? Or are they going to change some stuff? It's probably going to be 1-to-1. But that whole romance is so like awkward and weird and perverted. It's going to be interesting to see it put into a modern context with that remake. So when that comes out, I will check that out. But yeah, Kojima's Kojimaing in that game for sure.
What a thrill!
But yeah, the mechanics are awesome. Like all the camouflaging stuff you're doing, all the interesting like interrogation tactics that they introduced in that thing. The world is great. Like the Russian forest you're in, it's really cool. Yeah, it's a fantastic game. It's one of my favorite PS2 games for sure. Once we do like the definitive PS2 list, it's gonna be on there for sure. Highly recommend that game, and I want to play it before Delta comes out. That comes out in like a month. So played that, and then I jumped into Metal Gear Solid 4 after that. I bought a PS3 copy of that, and it runs pretty chunky on a PS3 because it's PS3. It runs 20 frames a second sometimes. It's pretty awful, but I think Metal Gear Solid 4 might be even better. I really do. I haven't beaten that game, but the stealth stuff you're doing in that game is so wild. Like, you are doing active camo with your suit. So for instance, you have this like full body suit that can blend into anything. All you have to do is stop crawling, and any surface that you're basically attached to or like close to, you become a chameleon and you change into that texture. It's really cool. So for instance, you are just army crawling through active war zones, completely camouflaged with like a percentage meter, very Splinter Cell like, where light and dark affects it as well. But you're like literally army crawling besides dudes actively running beside you, and it is so immersive and insane. I'm like, this game has blown me away today. Like, it is fantastic, the gameplay. I'm just like blown away every time they do the active Warzone camo stuff, because like you have to go really slow and you have to be camouflaged perfectly, or you get spotted and it's like you're dead, because Snake's not very survivable in this, because the idea is that he's old Snake for story reasons. Um, and yeah, it's a wrap up of everything Metal Gear so far, or from, you know, 1 through 3. Um, and yeah, it's very self indulgent. It's very weird. It's very like, I don't know. It's super anti-war, like all Metal Gear stuff is, but it's like that Bush era politics that is really interesting. Very Afghanistan setting. Very like,
Mm-hmm.
9/11 feeling. Like it's weird. Like it's very of an era of talking about like starting the conversation about mental health with soldiers, and like how modern advancements can either help or hinder them, and how people deal with post-traumatic stress disorder and stuff. It's a lot of heady topics for an era that we used to exist in. So it's not as like prescient as current stuff is, like with old Metal Gear, but it's still like of an era talking about very topical things, which I appreciate. Which Kojima does with all of his stuff, right? Um, but Metal Gear Solid 4 on a gameplay front might be my favorite so far, and it just keeps getting better and better. I love what I've been playing so far. I'm about a third of the way through it. It's a longer game than I think 3 and 2. Um, but yeah, it's cinematic as all get out. It looks fantastic on PS3 still. It still looks really, really, really good. Um, you see what, like my base PlayStation 3 that plays PS2, PS1 games, the whole Shazam. It's one of the oldest models you can get. Um, it runs like a jet engine, and I'm not joking. It's like whenever I'm playing it, I'm like, it's insane. It's insane the decibels my PlayStation 3 gets to. It was getting to the point where like a light was flashing on my console going, "Yo, we're getting too hot. You need to not play this game." Like straight up. It
Stop!
had like
I'm melting! I'm melting!
basically, yeah, the cell processor can't take it. That's how it feels.
Yeah.
And it's basically begging you, please, I beg you, put away the gun. We can't do this right now. Let me rest. Let me sleep. That's what the PS3 is telling me. Um, but yeah, that game is so good. Metal Gear is so good. I want to do a series review of this at some point. So that's kind of the on the road to that. But yeah. So would you play Metal Gear Solid 3 next? Probably. That's probably what you would do, right?
Yeah, I played through 1 and 2. Well, I played through Twin Snakes and 2. And so,
You should play original on hardware. That would be really cool.
yeah,
It's
I
a
need
great,
to find a copy of that thing at some
great
point.
way to play that game. Still plays fantastic, by the way. That original PS1 game plays great.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably play it on my PS2 because my
Oh yeah,
PS1
you
has
should.
been somewhat retired until I need it again, but
Right.
it just was running so bad. I was doing all I could to try and resuscitate it, but I'd probably just have to take that thing apart to really clean it out to resuscitate that thing. Um,
Yeah. Right. Um, but yeah, I Metal Gear all the way through. So far I've beaten 1, 2, 3. Um, Mostly I'm playing through 4. I've beaten Ground Zeroes. I've beaten 5. Those were the first games I played for Metal Gear was 5, because it's kind of so cordoned off from all the other Metal Gear stuff in some weird way. So
yeah.
all I have left to beat is 4 and Peace Walker, and I'll be Metal Gear pilled 100%. So um, yeah, Metal Gear Solid 4 is as good as people have said. It is maybe even better. It's awesome. Um, yeah, the last little bits I have here, I wanted to remark about a game that I've been dabbling with before I get into the real thing I've been playing for my backlog stuff. I've been touching some Mario 64, Super Mario 64 on Switch, the 3D All Stars version of this game. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna do every. I have never gotten all the stars in this game. I've beaten the game about 10 years ago. It's one of those things where it's been so long I've kind of forgotten about it a little bit, you know. Um, and I'm it's Mario 64. It's a great game, you know. Um, where does it rank for you in your Mario platformers? Do you think?
It's probably a solid number 2.
You think so?
Yep.
Yeah. It's
Right under
It
sunshine
feels
for me.
great. It's ageless, man. Like that game is
It's
ageless. It's
ageless,
kind of
and
insane.
it's a game that anyone can enjoy. I don't think it's necessarily going to be everyone's favorite, but it's going to at least be in the top games of anyone who's like into that sort of game and has played that sort of thing. It's going to be in the top in terms of platformers, 3D
Yeah.
platformers. So it's just
It
the
yeah.
textbook for 3D platformers.
Yep, it feels like video game required reading. Like that's what it feels like. Like there's very few games that like I think are like essential. Like you don't know about video games until you've played these games. Like it's Mario 64. It's like Super Mario Brothers 3 or World, whatever you want to do. It's like Halo Combat Evolved, and then maybe I don't know, Burnout Revenge or something like the essential games that like if you have not touched them, you don't know what a great video game is. Like like it feels like the bar still that all platformers are measured against is Mario 64. So I am dabbling with that, playing it here and there. It's just so fun to pick up and play. It's so playable, so playable. Um, I'm really enjoying just picking away at it, man. It's a great game. I've been playing on my Switch too, and yeah, the final thing I've been playing and the thing I beat this week that it was a journey. It was a journey, man. Devil May Cry 3: Dante's Awakening. So, my history of Devil May Cry. I have played a little bit of 5. It's a sequential story, so I didn't get into it. I just kind of wanted to dabble with it because it looked nice. Um, and they have like a special edition on PlayStation 5. It looks great. I wanted to kind of test it out when I got my console. So I played all through 1, and I really liked 1. 1 is a very good game. You can see the Resident Evil roots to it, and 3 is very similar to 1. So a lot of Resident Evil all around, right? Because that's what originally Devil May Cry 1 was going to be, is a Resident Evil game, but they decided to spin off and make it its own thing. Um, and like Devil May Cry 1, there's a map in that game. You just walk around finding treasures and stuff. It's kind of crazy, like how 1-to-1 it is. And 3 is so different than 1 is on a structure level. 3 is sequential end-to-end levels. Like there's a lot of backtracking, which is a major problem I have with this game. There's some really awful pathing in this game, like really bad to the point where I need to look it up. And we'll get into it a little bit because there's a lot I have to say about this thing before we pivot to our topic. That's why I wanted to save it for last, honestly. So, Devil May Cry 1, like that game a lot. It has one of the corniest line reads you could ever hear in a game. It's the "I'll fill your dark soul with light." It's pretty good. Look it up if you haven't seen it. It's one of the biggest video game memes ever. I'm playing the Devil May Cry HD collection on PlayStation 4, which includes Devil May Cry 1, 2, and 3. 2 is a bad game. Don't play it. But I've played 2. You can beat everything with a gun in that game. And Dante's not as fun in that game. He's very brooding. And it's also so cordoned off from the rest of Devil May Cry. Once they heard about the response to that game, they decided to distance themselves from it. So 3 is basically Devil May Cry 2, if you really want to be specific. 2 is... So basically, Devil May Cry is a game unto itself. 2 is a sequel to 1. And then 3 is a prequel to 1. Basically. So it is the first Devil May Cry game, Devil May Cry 3. And then 4 is a sequel to Devil May Cry 1, technically. Because 2, basically, they treat like it doesn't exist. Like, 2 is not really a thing. That's kind of how Capcom feels. And then 5 is a direct sequel to 4. Because you play as Nero in both. So, that's kind of the lineage of Devil May Cry. I played the first one. 3, I came back to it after trying it here and there. And I was like, okay, I'm going to just play this on normal. And if you know anything about Japanese video games from a certain era, normal means hard for the English audience. And this game, pardon the language, is hard as fuck. This is one of the hardest games I've ever played in my life. It was so difficult, but it was so gratifying, man. This is a top action game for me. Like, I see what the fuss is about, and I know it's that Frank from Always Sunny meme. He's like, I get it now. Like, I get Devil May Cry, and I became obsessed with this thing. Like, um, like the first 5 to 6 levels, not too bad. It was pretty easy, because you're getting all your stuff. You're getting all your like movement capabilities. There's like a level up system. There's different styles you can do like that are proficient in different things. Like there's Royal Guard, which lets you parry. There's Sword Master, I think it is, that lets you use different combat abilities. There's Trickster, which lets you dodge. Quicksilver, I forget what that does. I think it's a isn't it a copy move? I don't actually remember. There's different styles you can do basically that vary up your gameplay, whatever you're comfortable with, whatever your kit is. Um, there's like when you kill demons, you get currency you can use to put into new moves for your stuff, new actions for Dante, leveling up his guns, Ebony and Ivory, and all the other guns that you get. Um, but yeah, it's like a stage end to end, not side scrolling, but it's like a 3D action game with a fixed camera, and that's a major issue I have with it too. One is the backtracking, which is terrible, where I encountered a spot that they never signpost, that you're expected to just walk over an invisible chasm at some point, and they don't tell you about any of this. And I had a problem with that, and there's just useless backtracking. It's very repetitive in terms of getting where you need to go. Like, you'll get an item, and then you need to hoof it across 5 screens to go get to where you need to go, because everything's Resident Evil. You have to go through a door and then go through a level load. It's dumb. It's not as long as the Resident Evil, the level load stuff, but you still have to make that transition every time, and it gets too much. And then yeah, it's that other bit there that I had an issue with, where yeah, it's just very difficult, and they don't do a lot of good signposting, or they just let you fail. They let you fail constantly at this game, and it can be really fun, but it got really frustrating, and the camera is really a huge hindrance, especially in the boss fights. So for an example, there's a boss fight with these two guys named Agni and Rudra, I think, and you get weapons from them after that, but they beset you on two sides. Like they're basically like taunting you and circling you as you're in the middle. And as you attack one, the other one will attack, for instance. So you attack one, he blocks, the other one behind you will do a cheap move. And the camera is so bad. Like, it will get caught on geometry you can't see. It'll get offset so you can't move correctly. Like, it is mind-bogglingly bad. I can't believe they made this like work in this game. Like, I can't believe that this game got shipped and they didn't fix this. It is horrific, and it's a vestige from it being a Resident Evil game, because the first one has fixed camera angles. But you're doing so much more fighting in Devil May Cry 3. It becomes a major pain in the ass to just move around in larger scale fights, especially with enemies that do have a lot of movement too. Like, it feels like their scope can't keep up with what's on screen. It's a major detriment to your gameplay. And yeah, like I said, this game is hard as shit. Like, once you beat this game, okay, kind of to wrap it up a little bit, once you beat this game, the last 3 to 4 levels are a boss rush, a mandatory boss rush, which thank goodness they checkpoint, because it would be literally impossible to do it end to end. Unless you're a speedrunner, know the strats, know this game back to front, you couldn't do it. Like, every time you beat a boss, it checkpoints you, which is great. But you have to like do like 3 to 4 boss fights at these like slabs, and then it'll open a portal to where you need to go. And it is so punishing, the end of this game. Like, it's hard throughout, especially like the first Virgil fight. It's a huge skill check because he's faster than you. He devil triggers on you all the time, which is like his super. You'll attack him, he'll appear behind you and gank you. Like, it's tough. Learning those fights is really fun, but doing the entire boss rush again it's a little much. It goes from like difficult to like brutal very quickly in the last 3. It feels like padding. That specifically felt like padding at the very back end, but I will credit it. It made me feel so good to get them done and then go and wipe the final boss. So basically, I'd finished the boss rush. I was at the peak of my powers here. I was so powerful. I knew every move of his move set. I was ready to. I was ready to go. And then the penultimate boss knocked me around for about 3 or 4 hours, and I was like, I'm gonna throw this controller, and I did. I actually threw my controller, like genuinely, without even thinking about it. And I was like, oh wow, I don't think I've ever done that. Like I was livid. It was to the point where I was like, I reached that boss phase, right? There's a second phase where you cannot devil trigger, which means you cannot gain back health without items. So when you devil trigger, it gives you a super and also gives you back a little bit of health. And at this point, I hadn't been picking up any health items. I hadn't been increasing my health bar, nothing. Like I was just playing the game. And I was like, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna play it the way they intended. I'm gonna play with the lowest health bar you can, no items, nothing. Like I'm going to beat this game the real way on normal go. And it got to be a lot at the end. But once I conquered it, it's like a top 10 video game moment for me. Like the beating Ultimate Virgil in 2 tries on my first run through this game, peak moment for me being a gamer. I completely had this game down to a science, and I love how mechanically dense it is, but still like accessible to someone that's not familiar with these games. Like I don't play a lot of action games like this, you know. I just adored this game, even despite massive issues. Like the game is one of the most fun games I've ever played, and the combat wise and the actual feel of the game has aged like superbly. It is a fantastic battle system. The characters are great. The story is kind of whatever. The performances aren't awesome. I grew to like it more by the end, but I've told you this. People that complain about that Netflix show are get a life, because the story in Devil May Cry has never been awesome. And in fact, 4 and 5 are actually better stories from what I've seen. Ultimately, I've been playing like my favorite PS2 games, like back to back. It's kind of insane. Like my favorite PS2 games ever. It's Devil May Cry 3. It's Metal Gear Solid 3. It's Sly Cooper 1. Jack and Daxter's in there somewhere. Like I've played top 3, top 4 games on the system already back to back, and it felt like an accident. I love this game so much. It took me 20 hours to beat it. Like I said, the last 3 stages of this were brutal ordeals. It padded out my playtime about 8 hours. Like it was that brutal. And I looked up guides to like beat the bosses, and they're just like, yeah, I got up all the way to this point in the game, and I just stopped. It just became impossible, and it felt impossible. But like, it gave me more satisfaction to just hammer away at this thing and raise my skill level even more than a FromSoft game, man. Like I can't tell you how much I loved beating this game. I wanted to play through again, and like they do the Capcom Resident Evil thing where they're just like, hey, play this thing through again, just do it again. And do it like a faster way, do it in a different mode. You can play as Virgil, and I'm like, oh my god, do I want to play this game as Virgil? Yeah, kind of, because Virgil is so sick. He's one of the coolest characters in any video game. Like Dante's fine. Virgil is so awesome. Yeah, man. I cannot extol the virtues of this game enough. But I will warn people, it is a PS2 game in the worst ways. In the worst ways. If you can encounter it, play with a guide, please. I did not. I think it hampered my enjoyment slightly, but I'm still extolling its virtues enough. I think it is. It might be my favorite PS2 game. I don't know. It's up there. Top 5.
Nice.
Loved Devil May Cry 3. And I'm playing through 2 again because it's short. I'm playing through Devil May Cry 4 as well, and I'll be playing 5 after that. So, if you want to get a gauge of my feelings about the Devil May Cry series, I think I'm going to do a review of the entire series in one go. That's what I'm really thinking of. I made a thumbnail for it today. I'm probably going to do a Metal Gear thing too. But Devil May Cry, I am so on fire for this series right now.
There you go.
I loved it, man. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it, and I've talked enough about it. I talked at length about it. So, well, I guess what is your interest in Devil May Cry? I'll take a break.
Lawn chair.
Lawn chair, yeah. Like I said, I put the lawn chair in the thumbnail, so you'll see it.
And that's about it. It's just not my genre, really. The last time I played something like that was Bayonetta, and I played through those first two Bayonetta games. I'm like, yeah, that was fine. I don't see myself getting into this genre.
Yeah.
I guess Dragon Guard 3 would be like the closest thing to that I really liked, but it wasn't really the combat for me. It was everything else around that game that I really liked, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, to summarize, it's so awesome to play my two favorite PS2 games back to back, and I've had so much fun playing video games this month. Like Donkey Kong, Metal Gear 3 and 4, Devil May Cry 3, and now Real World, which I'm actually really enjoying. It's been my favorite month for playing video games this year. I have loved every second of the things I've been playing. It's been so fulfilling, you know?
Yeah.
I haven't felt that lack of anything to play, and I've been digging everything I've been into, so. Thank you for letting me go at length about that. I let you go at length about Monster Hunter, and I was just like, yeah, that's cool, man, you know? And I feel like that's how that kind of went, but I can't sing the songs of that game enough. It's fantastic, fantastic game. Also, Hideaki Itsuno, who directed that, did Dragon's Dogma 1 and 2. So, yeah, fun fact. So, yeah, let's take one more break. I'm going to go refresh myself, and then we're going to get to our topic. I hope you're ready.
Topic.
We like video games, and we don't care who knows it. We want to talk about 5 of our favorites.
Yeah.
You want to do this with me?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll throw together 5 games. I mean, games are...
Yeah, he's gonna talk about Bubsy 3D, guys. Get ready.
That's not my favorite game, by the way.
Oh.
The
way he talks about it could have fooled me.
Oh my
god. It's
a fun, interesting game. It's a good Kuso game, but it's not... It's just not a great... experience. It's just a game that has a lot of staying power because it's so interesting.
Yeah. Well, how do you want to tackle this? Do you want to do the bouncing back and forth sort of deal? I just think a top 5 would be fine. I think we'll do that.
Yeah.
Any order you want. I'm going to number mine because that's how I keep a list of it. I've talked plenty. You go first.
Okay.
You go first.
We'll throw. I want at number 5. I want something that's like really like an experience without like something like that's deeply meaningful to me. So I think I'll throw. Is a tough one, but I think I'm gonna throw Pathologic into the top.
Really?
Into the number 5 slot. I really enjoyed my time with that game. The game is such an atmospheric masterpiece, and it's got just the amount of clunkiness and bristliness to keep me engaged. But it doesn't feel like a game that's like wasting my time either. It's a game that just wants me to engage with its world and its systems and to experience it. It's truly the most in-depth sim of that sort of plague scenario that I think I've ever played. So it's a really, really interesting experience.
I guess what I would ask is, why should people play Pathologic? What's your pitch?
If you want a game that is going to it's going to test your fortitude mentally on a lot of levels in terms of like what BS you're willing to put up with, but also like how much you want to talk about scary games. This is a game that genuinely had me so enthralled with it that sometimes I would start to break and
oh boy,
genuinely start to feel the dread of this game enrapturing me. So
wow,
that it's a really powerful experience that you have to you have to play by the game's rules and dedicate time to it. But if you are willing to do that, then the game is deeply rewarding in that.
Yeah, I have this game. I should play it. You've sold me on it so many times, but yeah. So for clarity, this is our top 5 favorite games of all time, 2025 edition. We're calling it edition this way because these lists change, man. This is our check-in this year on it. Yep. Maybe we do this yearly, maybe we don't. It kind of depends. I mean, who knows when these games jump on and off, right? But yeah, that's a good number 1 or number. That's a number 5, right?
Number 5, yeah.
That's a good number 5. My number 5 is a game that we have talked about a little bit tonight. It's Dead Space, dude. Dead Space. The original is fantastic. It's that remake, man. That remake is the bar. It's the bar for horror games for me. Like, there's no better horror game than Dead Space 1. In my opinion. It has literally everything I want in a video game for a horror genre type game. So, from the atmosphere, the setting is incredible. Your character, Isaac, is just so amazing. Like, he feels like an everyman. Like, I love that about him. He does not feel like a superhero. I love that about this game so much. He doesn't feel like... He feels like he's doing his job. So, he's an engineer. That's the thing about him. He has tools at his disposal, and they feel like tools. The weapons in this game are tools for the trade, for this engineer. They have practical use elsewhere in this trade. Like, the plasma cutter you use, that can be used lengthways and widthways, whatever you want to say. Like, it flips back and forth. It's used to cut metal so he can get to fuses and wires and to do his job. I love that about this game. Like, it feels so considered and thought about. The HUD elements are amazing. There's not one bit of HUD on screen. Every piece of information you need about your character is diegetic. What diegetic means is it is in the world. Every menu, every indicator for health, it is either on his person or he's interacting with a terminal in the game. It feels so immersive. The thing I want to really stress here, it is maybe the scariest game you can play. Dead Space 1 is frightening. Like, the original game, frightening as all get out. It's a tough game to get through if you don't have a good stomach. And a lot of it lies at the feet of the audio design, the music. Like, this is the key to any horror piece of media. You take away the music, what do you have? Is it still scary? Probably not. That's why Dead Space is so good. The audio design is immaculate. It is the best sounding video game I've ever heard still. There's not a better sounding video game than it. And it's because they spent so much working on that. The reason I put this game over the original is the stuff that they changed. It is a remake in the right ways. There is some bad stuff about that first game. There is a bad, like, shooting mission that is really tough on the regular 360 version of that game that they completely overhauled and becomes a highlight in the new one. They changed the right stuff 100% of the way. It is a can't miss video game. It is my favorite horror game of all time. It's a top 5 game for me. It is number 5. Let's put it this way. It's so good, it just beat out Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And that is a very personal game for me. I think Dead Space is better than that game. It's brilliant, man. Brilliant game. I'm so glad you got it. You need to play it. Yeah. It is so good. So good. You're going to love it. If you're going to play any horror game, I recommend that wholeheartedly. So that's my number 5, dude.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, my number 4 is going to be something that kind of got me to really think more deeply about games. I'm going to put Yume Nikki in my number 4 slot, I think. That game does so much with so little. Because it is just a game that is all about the experience. It's all about just viewing this world from just a pure art level. Like, that's all that game is just art and music and sound design, and that's all that game needs to be able to tell its whole story, and to explore everything it wants to explore in its theming. It's very rich and deep theming, and yeah, it's just a game that really made me, back when I played it, when I was a young teen, really think about games in a completely different light. So really had an impact on me, and the way I appreciate games. So
Yeah, if you were to ask me to play this, like, what do you think I would get out of it personally? Like, what are the key hallmarks of Yume Nikki? I guess I don't know much about it.
yeah, it's a walking simulator. So you would experience the art and the worlds that the creator wanted you to experience, and it's just sort of one of the first of its kind in terms of just like being able to be a games as art. That's truly what Yume Nikki is. Like, it's it forgoes any of the, usual trappings that a game has to have, like text and combat and things like that. And it just says, no, I'm just going to have my art and my sound design and my world, and this is going to be what this game is. If you are willing to experience that, then it's a game that doesn't waste your time. It's a very quick game to get through, yeah, it's definitely worth exploring. It's a game that's definitely worth exploring.
Okay, interesting. Yume Nikki. I made a note of that. I want to check it out. So, okay, this is going to be a controversial one for you, I think. My fourth favorite game of all time is Fallout 3. I adore this game. It's my favorite Bethesda RPG, full stop, even over Skyrim, and I love Skyrim. Fallout 3 is maybe the most... It's top 3 most important game of my childhood, I think. I have a very storied history with this game in terms of how I got it. Like, I went with my dad to the game shop that sucked in Ozark with the guy who sucked, and he sold it for way too much. But I got my dad to buy it for me, and my mom found out that he bought it, and she was pissed. And then she took it away, but I kept finding it. She kept hiding it. And long story short, I ended up keeping it and putting it in a special place, so it never got taken. And I still have it in this house to this day. And I played it so much. I think I beat that game 4 or 5 times on 360. And the thing about Bethesda games on 360, it was kind of like a 50-50 if it was going to break or not. Like, you could just go through a door and your thing would crash and it would suck, and you would have to restart your... How many progress... Like, you could have lost hours of progress. Like, it depends, because you need to save, You hope that autosaves will get you there, but I don't know. I love Fallout 3. I think the world's the best that Bethesda's created besides Skyrim. I think... I don't know. I really resonate with that story. Maybe it's because Liam Neeson is your dad. I don't know. I love Fallout 3 so much. It is my first introduction to Fallout as a series. And, yeah, all the side quests are just perfect. I know there's, like, people prefer New Vegas and its faction system and stuff, but I don't know. I like the whole Lone Wanderer aspect of it. I think the main story is one of Bethesda's best and most memorable. The New Vegas main story is okay. The Skyrim one is, like, forget it. You know, and Oblivion is kind of like whatever too. But Fallout 3 feels crucial to you, like experiencing that world the first time because it takes you to all the key hallmarks of that capital wasteland in really interesting ways. And like it sidetracks you in really fun ways too. Like side quests happen to you in that game. You don't just walk into it and find it. Like usually things are happening around you and they go like, hey, can you help me out? You're on the side quest now. And I just love how dynamic that feels. It hasn't aged beautifully, let's put it that way. The engine it's running on, Gamebryo, is pretty borked. But the voice acting is still great. I beat this game last year and it still holds up for me. I think the radio is my favorite radio. The Three Dog radio announcer is still my favorite. The guy in Fallout 4 sucks. I'm sorry, he's no good. And the guy in Fallout New Vegas is pretty good too. But Three Dog's my boy. I love that guy.
Three Dog is pretty cool.
Man, bring back Three Dog. Why don't you? And yeah, like they just nailed it in their first go with Fallout 3 because that was Bethesda's first crack at it because 1 and 2 and they had a bunch of other stuff, right? But 3 is my favorite Bethesda game, full stop. I don't like any other Bethesda game anywhere close to it. It's my top 4 for sure. I love this game so dearly. It is so special to me.
Nice.
So, yeah. What's your next one?
I think for my next one, I'm gonna go ahead. This is a good place to put Hatsune Miku, Project Diva.
Oh, who could have thunk? Who could have thunk that Miss Diva would make an appearance on this list?
Yeah.
What do you like about this game? This game seems like your jam, huh?
It is. It's my bread and butter. It's
It is your bread and butter.
It's just endlessly replayable, right? Especially the latest release on PC, because the community has just done so much work to put just countless charts and songs into this game. They're just constantly adding content to it, but even the game on its own merits, the Switch version of this game was fantastic, and I kind of just view the series as a whole as one continuous, thing, and you can go back and you can play any one of these games, and there's always good music and good charts and fun gameplay, and there is a part of me that likes the graphics of those original PSP games more so a bit than the modern iterations of these games, but regardless of what platform you play them on, I think they're just infinitely replayable and enjoyable rhythm games. And I'm not usually someone who enjoys these repetitive score-based games, but it's just kind of my cup of tea of a replayable arcadey game. So
yeah, it's the game you always come back to, dude. I know that's one of your favorites. You love this game to pieces. I mean, you love it so much you put the old controls back in that thing. So that's pretty niche. I love that. You know what? I've seen almost nothing of this game. I should look at it. I should watch you stream it. I have not watched.
Yeah, I'll have to show you some of my favorite charts sometime. So
yeah, that sounds like a plan. That was your number 3. My number 3 is a game that you will be playing soon, hopefully. Outer Wilds.
I want to play
Outer
this
Wilds
thing.
It's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. It's my favorite indie game ever. It's not the one I would recommend to people, like we talked about in our last episode. I think this game, you have to give yourself over to it, and if you don't, you're gonna have a bad time. You have to really ingest this game at your own pace, and if you're not okay with that, then play something else. I just don't know what to tell you. You have to completely give yourself over to it, enjoy it. savor it because it kind of goes quicker than you want it to. Um, the idea of this game is that you wake up and you are going on your first venture into outer space for Outer Wilds ventures, I should say. Um, and there's like a cottage industry of astronauts going out to check out stuff among the stars. And there's a bunch of astronauts that have not come back, and so you're another part of this group. It's your first mission, and you're gonna go see what's to see. They're like a nomadic species that have decided to make a home at Timber Hearth, and they've decided to just check out what's going on up there. And it's the search of what's going on up there, man. Like, it's so expansive. The design is so tight, and I got into this on a previous episode for sure, so I don't want to talk too at length, but it has the most profound moment I've ever had with a video game. Full stop. The end of this game changed the way I think about video games. My place in the world, how I feel about interactive media, like, it is so important to me, and it's a must-play game for anybody serious about being a video game person. Like, if you live and breathe video games, you need to play this. And I guarantee you, once you figure out what is here, you're not going to view the space the same way. I really feel this way. And I don't want to spoil anything about it. I think it is so easy to spoil. I'm just going to trust that people get this and understand that it is special, and will take my opinion under advisement and try it out for themselves. It's a masterpiece of a video game, and you deserve to see it for yourself. Don't just listen to me. Outer Wilds is my number 3 favorite game of all time. So, hope you play it sometime.
Oh, I will. It's on the short list for sure. It's getting up there. So.
Yeah. That Switch port, also very good, I will say.
Yeah.
It's cool to have that thing in your hands. So, yeah, anyway, your turn.
Yep. Number 2. I was wrestling with it a lot, and I think that the most one of the most genuine experiences I've had in gaming is my collection of experiences with Dark Souls 2. I adore that game.
Okay.
I love that game. I really think that game is my favorite FromSoft game. I think that game takes everything that I talked about earlier with Demon's Souls and with Dark Souls 1 and blends them in a way that I think can truly appeal to both of those audiences. I think that it has both the journey, the difficult journey that like a Demon's Souls has, while not having nearly as limited healing resources as a Demon's Souls or a Dark Souls. Because you have that limited Estus that you're given at the beginning, but you're also given consumable healing items, and you can get a lot of them quickly. And so you have both the Estus that regenerates automatically and the consumables, and by the mid game you're able to buy an insane amount of these life gems, and so you can just run around with as much healing as you could possibly ask for. So if you play that game right, that game can be a breeze, or in my experiences with that game, I like to play that game with the Broken Straight Sword. I adore that is my favorite one to play through, with the Broken Straight Sword. That game is so much fun with that weapon. It just feels like the right way to play that game, basically. I distinctly remember my time fighting the Fume Knight with the Broken Straight Sword in the DLC, the tower, the Ash Tower. I don't remember the name of the DLC now, but where you fight the Fume Knight, and that battle is just such a learning the pattern battle back and forth. That it was just so enjoyable to do with the Broken Straight Sword, and so yeah, I think that is my all-time favorite. And I've gone through all of those Souls games with the Broken Straight Sword, and that's by far my favorite experience with that weapon. And most of my playthroughs of that game have been some of the most enjoyable. My co-op experience with that game is probably my most enjoyable co-op experience in one of the Souls games. My PvP experience was by far my best PvP experience in any of those Souls games. And my magic build experience is by far the best experience in any of those Souls games, so I just adore that game to pieces. I love every single boss, and the journey is tough in a lot of areas in that game. Areas like the Shrine of Amana can really break you, but it's all part of the overall vision and experience of that game, and that game is better for those difficult portions. I truly believe that. So,
yeah, it's a compelling case you've made for sure. I can see why you'd like that game. We'll be playing this. We will play this together. Maybe after Bloodborne, I guess we'll see how we feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to check it out. I'm excited for you to play my favorite one again, and I'm excited to play your favorite one again. So it'll be a fun exercise.
Yeah.
My number 2 favorite game is Hitman: World of Assassination. This is cheating. Okay, this is cheating. This is 3 games, but it's one package. You buy World of Assassination, you're getting all 3 Hitman games. You have to buy the DLC. It's kind of a mess the way they do it, but when I think about games that are just so my type of bullshit, like this is it. Like, this is my type of stuff. Mechanically dense, clockwork, dynamic gameplay. Everything has a rotation. Every NPC has a routine. There's funny dialogue throughout. There's multiple ways you can attack a situation. Many ways you can solve a problem. It feels like a playground, a sandbox, a complete treasure chest of unique ideas, beautiful locales and settings, and a malleable protagonist that is endlessly enjoyable to see how he reacts to certain situations. So it's I can see why they're doing the Bond game now, because they did their Super Spy and they nailed it. I think the other Hitman games are fine. They're fine. Absolution people don't like too much, but this is really where they get this figured out. Like Hitman 1 through 3 is the best trilogy in video games in the last 30 years. I really feel this strongly about it. It's like this. It's like the Halo games. I don't know.
I mean, the Souls trilogy is pretty good.
The Souls trilogy, sure. I mean, it's so good. Every game is so good. There's only out of the almost 25 levels, 20 levels, I can think of one that's just not great. But even that, I would rather play than almost any video game you could bring to my attention. The Hitman World of Assassination is the best value in video games. You can play it for hundreds, thousands of hours, and I've combined across 3 games. I put about 500-600 hours in this series, and I had to tear myself away from it because I knew it would be my forever game. It is one of those forever games that I always return to when I have nothing else to play, which is rare, But when I have nothing else to play or I, don't want to think, I go to Hitman. And it's always there, and it's always good, and it's this perfect crystallization of that core concept, and nothing beats it for me except for one thing, which I'll get into. But World of Assassination it's cheating for sure, but that series is just it's immaculate. It's immaculate. It's the best. It's my favorite trilogy in any video game series. Like my favorite trilogy. So that's my number 2 is cheating. It's one product though, so it's World of Assassination. There you go. That's my go ahead.
All right.
So, what's your favorite game ever? Let's hear it.
Sonic Adventure 2.
I'm surprised you don't have Majora's Mask on this top 5. I'm going to be honest with you.
I like that game a lot, but
you used to love that game so much.
I don't think I have a single Nintendo game on this top 5.
No.
I don't think that Nintendo makes a lot of great games. They're not games that are usually particularly important to me. Majora's is close. That's like maybe like a number 6. But Sonic Adventure 2 is just such an important game, I think. I don't think there has been a game like Sonic Adventure 2 since it. The amalgamation of all of its pieces with the Chao Garden, with the mecha shooter gameplay, with the treasure collecting puzzle style gameplay, and of course with the high speed action gameplay. That whole experience is just such an immaculate package to me. It just hasn't been replicated since in that quite that way. Like every single piece of Sonic Adventure 2 has been maybe sort of done in other games, like the individual pieces maybe, but that whole experience has never been done since. Really nothing's really quite come up to the level of quality of those speed stages, especially. Like those are some of the best 3D platforming levels you can play. Like those Sonic and Shadow levels are just so perfect in their both the way they have multiple routes, hidden pieces to them, and just the overall setup that it makes it to where they're relatively easy, or they're relatively what's the word? You can get through them without too much trouble, but to actually master them takes a lot of time, and that part of that just repetition of learning those levels and mastering them is super enjoyable. And that's a big part of the experience of those of the game in general, is getting those A ranks and really engaging with that game and learning it. And that's just like the level layer of it. Then you take like the whole Chao Garden layer of it with the sort of the creature raising life sim, pet sim, whatever you would consider that piece of it. It's just so it's a lot of fun to have that element in such a action oriented game, have this sort of take a breather, take a break sort of piece to it that lets you just create this customizable creature and have just sort of this whole slew of these customizable creatures. Really, for me, it's just the perfect package, and I've never found a game that quite scratches that platformer itch like Sonic Adventure 2. Has all the elements that I want in that sort of game, and that's kind of the gold standard for me for any game, really, in terms of music and story and world building and gameplay. I think it's got it all.
Mm-hmm.
So
good stuff. So, real quick, how do you feel about Sonic Adventure 1? I don't really know how you feel about it.
Yeah, that game's all right. It just falls on its face in a lot of key places. Some of the gameplay in that is not nearly as streamlined as the gameplay in Sonic Adventure 2. The whole hub world system of trying to get from action stage to action stage just kind of detracts from the overall experience, in my opinion. I'm kind of an op for those sort of open area, open zone type pieces. I'd much rather just have a level select that gets me right into the action, like a Sonic Adventure 2. So I want those more designed spaces rather than just having to walk through this open space that doesn't feel very engaging. So
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, with all that said, my final game, my favorite game of ever, is the one on my arm. It's Bloodborne. I haven't found a game that I like better than it, and many have tried. Many have failed. I think Bloodborne is the total package for what I love in a video game. It is everything. It's theme, it's music, it's pageantry, it's combat, it's story. It is everything that I love in a video game, all wrapped into one. I love horror so much. Horror might be my favorite genre for anything. This game is so horror tinged. I love how alien it feels. It feels dangerous. Every time I play it, I love it. Every time I play it, I love it even more. I can't really put into words how much I love this game. It is I have really done the science on this thing. I have stressed it multiple ways. I have asked myself multiple questions about it. Is this game really that good? And then I'll play it. I'm like, yeah, that's the best game I've ever played. I can't play anything better than this. It's
maybe if they put it out on PS5, then that'd be better. But
stop the presses. You know what I mean? Forget.
Put that thing on PC and PS5, please.
That's the thing. I don't even need a Bloodborne 2. I really don't need it. I am okay with having this game be the game. If you make it run better,
yeah,
that's all I need, man. That's all I need. And the fact that we have this game anyway feels like a gift to me. Even Miyazaki, when asked what his best game is, he says it's Bloodborne, and I agree.
That's because he didn't.
I think it is by far.
Too, so yeah.
Well, he didn't. So no, it is not his best game. I like it more than Elden Ring. I like it more than Dark Souls 1. Sekiro, even. Sekiro is on my top 10. Sekiro, I love Sekiro to death. It doesn't touch Bloodborne, in my opinion. When you get deep into the lore of this thing, it's got so many layers to it. It is endlessly fascinating. The DLC especially. I think the DLC is so much better than the main game in so many key ways too. The Old Hunters is maybe my favorite piece of video game content. I just, that final boss fight is so good. The boss fights in this entire game are so good. There's only one bad boss fight. It's the one reborn. Everyone knows it. Um, every other boss fight's banger. It's a banger. Even the Chalice Dungeon boss fights, banger. Every bit. I
Even
have
Living
criticisms about this game.
Failures.
I think the living, whatever. They're not really a boss. They're more like mini boss. I don't really count them.
Living Failures, my favorite boss.
Live your life, man. I can't speak to it, but I think the Blood Echoes or the Blood Vial farming sucks. They make it a little bit easier in the DLC with having a guy that if you kill him, he gets 5 every.
Can you buy those? Can you buy those blood vials? Is there a merchant that sells those? I forget.
You can, I think. I think you can get it from like that.
Next time I play that, I'm just gonna go to the dungeon and just buy like as many as possible.
Sure.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
I don't have to farm for those things.
Mm-hmm. The final boss of Bloodborne is very difficult. It's one of the more difficult FromSoft final bosses. And when I beat him, I was so ecstatic. I beat that game in a day again. Like and then I kept beating it, and I kept beating it. And
Are you
then
talking about
the people.
Like Moon
Garamond.
Presence? Oh, you're talking about Garamond. Okay.
Moon Presence is a cakewalk. Garamond's actually tough.
I think that
like
both of them like kind of pale in comparison to that DLC final boss. That thing is one of the toughest FromSoft bosses ever made.
I would say like I think it might be the hardest FromSoft final boss.
Yeah,
is Garamond. I think Garamond is very, very tough.
I don't know if Garamond's that tough. I don't remember struggling with him too much compared to other final bosses.
I think he's on a base level for a vanilla game. I think he's the toughest of these Souls-like. I think Ishin wipes him.
Oh yeah, Ishin wipes him easily. Yeah, like this Souls-like. I'll give you that. Although I haven't fought King a lot, so I can't speak on that.
I haven't either, but I haven't heard he's very tough either. I mean, we both from Sekiro. Sword Saint Ishin is maybe the hardest boss in any video game. Like he's
kind of brutal.
Tough.
Yeah, I know people that have gotten to Ishin and stopped playing because of Ishin. Like,
yeah, I am endlessly proud I beat him 4 times. Let's put it that way. Like that might be my best completion in gaming. Like my biggest everything. Like I can't stress how hard that fight is. It is top for how difficult it is. And I think the DLC boss fight is right there. It's underneath Ishin slightly, but it's there, man. Like that.
Yeah. It's brutal.
It's man. I soloed it too. I soloed it.
Yeah. My
first time through, and it took me a long time, but I did it. And now I can do it routinely. I don't know how good I am right now. I haven't played Bloodborne all the way through in a couple of years, but
the only time I've ever gone through that game is with Saw Cleaver, utilizing like the beast pellets and the fireflies, and that's the only time I've ever beat that thing is with that Saw Cleaver maxed out and the blood beast pellets and the fireflies, and that thing. I haven't fought it with any other build. I haven't gotten to it with any other build, but
I think my favorite fight thematically in Bloodborne, there's 2 of them, but one that really gets me every time is the Father Gascoigne fight. Never get tired of it. Every time I do it, I never get tired of it. I have a clip where me and my friend, another Noah actually, who was doing Tape Stuck with us, we soloed him and focused him down, and no problem. And it was kind of insane. He kind of got stuck on geometry, and we just wailed at him. So it was kind of broken that way, but it was fun that you could do it that way. I just love the thematic presentation of the Father Gascoigne fight. It's the first mano a mano fight, you know? I love it when you just fight a dude in a FromSoft game as a boss. Like, here we go. I'm ready. I have a similar toolkit as you. Let's party, you know? And he's got like a monster Jekyll Hyde face to him too, which is cool. But that's why I like Ishin too. Ishin feels like a person, you know. where you're fighting a lot of faceless or not faceless, but like bestial creatures.
Mm-hmm.
I love the one-on-one, like we're going, knuckle,
Yeah,
bucket,
Sekiro has a lot of those like humanoid bosses. I
Yes.
feel like the majority of bosses in Sekiro are like humanoids. So,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
pretty
Sekiro is a
interesting.
very tough game.
Yeah,
Like the ogre in Sekiro is really tough. The ape is pretty tough.
Sekiro is a really really good experience, but once you've experienced it, it's kind of hard to play through that thing again, just because there's not a lot of like variety in that game. It's not like endlessly replayable.
It's very
like
very focused.
like most of
Yeah.
FromSoft's library is endlessly replayable. That one's just very focused. Yeah,
It's like a Ninja Gaiden Black or something. Like once
Yeah.
you have the tool set, it's a very specific way to play that game.
yeah,
You play through it, that's it. You master that game, and you compare every other game that has parries to it. That's Sekiro.
it did
Um,
parrying the best out of any game before or after.
Yes.
Like no
Yeah.
contest.
There's even like not even Liza P. Nothing has
No.
done it better
No.
than Sekiro. Sekiro has the perfect timing. And yeah, just to end my Bloodborne rant, I think it's a perfect video game. It is a perfect video game to me. There are problems with it, for sure, that I have. It's a flawed masterpiece, and it is. I would be hard pressed to see if any other FromSoft game would ever topple it. Even just on a nostalgic basis, I'm just nostalgic talking about it now. Like I
Yeah.
would play it right now. Like my favorite game, I should be want to pick it up every single
Yeah.
time I think about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how Bloodborne is.
Yeah,
That's how Bloodborne is.
Sonic Adventure 2 is for me. Like I could start playing it right now
yeah.
while we're talking, and I'd be perfectly content
Yeah.
playing any portion of that game.
And I'm not like that for Hitman. I'm really not. I can
Yeah.
play it all the time, but Bloodborne I can play right now.
Yeah,
That's how good I feel about
Yeah.
that game. So that's a huge measurement of how I feel. So those are some lists, dude. That was good. That was good. I love the talks. That was great. Those are our favorite games 2025 edition.
Yep.
Each 5 apiece. So enjoy that. Put that in your pocket. Take it with you. And yeah, we're gonna blow through some stuff because it's getting late.
Yeah.
The way we're recording. We've been looking at some stuff. I'll make it real quick. I don't have a lot to say. I've been watching too much wrestling with the wife. I'm tired of wrestling. I think I'm taking a break from wrestling. That's kind of where
Wrestling's
I'm
pretty
at.
cool though.
It is cool. It's been good. SummerSlam was pretty good. Cody Rhodes won again. Thank God. He's my guy. Bachelor in Paradise is bad, but like in a good bad. We're watching Poker Face Season 1. Almost done with that. That's been great. Episode 9 of Poker Face Season 1. One of my favorite episodes of television I've seen in a while. It's very, very good. Really recommend that show. It's like Columbo. If you've seen Columbo, I don't know if you have, but
No.
with a lady. It's very, very similar. Then we watched a little bit of Twisted Metal Season 2, Episode 1. Twisted Metal Season 1 was pretty good. It's based on the video game,
Right.
obviously, Twisted Metal.
Yep.
But it has nothing to do with it, really. The second season, they're finally getting to the tournament aspect of Twisted Metal, and I want to see how weird it gets. So the first one was like a lot of setup, but the second one I hope is good. And they nail Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth's cool as hell. Like he's a cool character in that show, and it's funny. It's a funny show. It's written by the Deadpool guys, so I really like it. And then finally, our football shows. We're keeping up with them. Hard Knocks showed up this week, and we've been watching that. And I just like really high produced HBO documentaries, and that's what that is. So that's kind of what I've been watching. And I'm watching more Shampoo. We're gonna finish that up in the next couple weeks. Just get our full thoughts about it. Get some more views on that next video. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. So what about you on your end?
I haven't really been doing
If
a
anything,
whole lot
if
of
you have anything.
hobby stuff. Yeah.
Just been playing video games, dog. I know.
I think so. Yeah. I can't. I can't think of too much. I mean, I started Eureka 7, but it's been sort of very slow getting into that, and I'm probably gonna put that away because I'll probably be dedicating most of my free time to Shampoo. that rewatch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we got the next batch of episodes there. And that'll be coming at you pretty soon, hopefully. If we can get it done, we'd like to do it next week, but we'll see. I'm going on vacation in 2 weeks. So if it does, whatever. I need a break. I'm going out of town. So we'll be getting to that. This has been a really good show. Action-packed, jam-packed, lots of video games.
Yeah, we play video games.
So we've been playing video games. The rest of the year, I'm excited about Silent Hill F. That's kind of where I'm at. That's the next game I'm looking forward to. I will be playing Metal Gear Solid Delta. I don't know how soon, because I just beat 3. I might let that tamp down a little bit. We'll see. I will get it, but I don't know if I'll play it immediately, because I just finished it. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, reviews for stuff. I'm going to put out definitely the Mario Kart review, definitely Death Stranding review, because I want to talk about Death Stranding and how crazy that game is. I'd like to do a Deltarune review at some point, but I kind of want you to finish it first.
Yeah,
so we'll go at your pace. Again, no pressure. You just finish it whenever you're done. Just let me know. We'll do something like the Bananza thing. We'll just sit down and talk for an hour.
Sure.
I'll probably record those in the next couple days. I'm gonna go see Weapons tomorrow. That looks good. It's from the Barbarian director. I'm excited about that. So yeah, that's what's happening with me. Any closing thoughts from you, my loyal co-host?
Ratatan.
I couldn't have said it better. And with that comes to a close our 20th episode of this special program. Catch us next time on Drift Stick later.
Drifty.